all roads lead to this. That's pretty much all I've got to say apart from this one. We have now been here for 4 days, and everything comes together today. This is going to be where the squads really show what's going on. Now, $180,000 is on the line here. First place is going to walk away with 80K of that. There is a lot to be said here, Lauren. There's a lot of things on the line. All the teams kind of have been practicing for this moment. These are the guys that have obviously, we heard yesterday in a little video, Liquid, they've been to a team house. They've been gearing up for this one. This is where everything comes to a point now. It's kind of step up, step out. Only top 4 are going to get paid.
Yeah, this is a huge moment. Everyone, at least in my eyes, especially the competitive teams, have been eyeing up the squads. I think, you know, we're going to see the highest caliber that we're going to see throughout this tournament. They've been preparing, they've been playing the online leagues. This is going to be a very, very, very competitive element to this entire week of PUBG. So I'm super excited for this, but we're not going to get there just yet. There's a couple of bits beforehand that I've already heard are quite cool. Yeah,
we do have a couple of little interviews here and there. We've got a lot coming. This game's obviously been, it's advancing its development phase. There's a lot of differences going on. There's a lot of changes coming. And even today, I think it broke a new concurrent play record. 805K, I think.
Did it beat Dota?
I don't think it did. I think Dota's still about
just
20
holding
or 30. On. Yeah, it's still holding on for dear life.
It's not bad for a game in its early stages,
It's not
right?
at all.
But yeah, the community's been pretty insane so far for this game. It's been kicking off. I think we've seen the highs and lows throughout this tournament, but I think yesterday for me, Andy's moment was just, that to me just says, you know, we're so close to having something brilliant here. It was like the 7 kills he went through. There was like 4 to 5 at the end that were just sublime. I think there's a couple of clips of it out there already on the internet, so make sure you watch the ending of that one. But yeah, there's so many great moments we've seen so far. I think first person to me was a big highlight. Seeing that in action was really, really impressive. Then down the line, I think squads will be the next piece that works really, really well for me. So yeah, I'm excited for these kind of elements to come through.
Well, speaking of development and progress, before we talk about exactly what's gone on in the past and what's obviously going to be happening today, it's my pleasure to throw it down to the stage. We have Cameron with the gunplay and animation lead and the gunplay programmer to talk a little bit more about the future of Battlegrounds.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, I am joined by Merritt Krasowski, the gameplay programmer, and Pavel Smolewski, the animation and gunplay lead, to talk a little bit about the current developments of Battlegrounds, specifically the vaulting mechanic. Why did you decide to implement vaulting in the first place?
Well, initially we didn't plan for vaulting. It was always nice to have feature, but after playing the game on alpha and beta and seeing how players play the game, we saw that this jumping alone is not enough. Players were getting stuck. The movement mechanic was very clunky. Didn't look realistic, so we decided that we actually need to implement a system for the player to cover the obstacles much easier. So yeah, it was based on pretty late in development.
All right, and what was initially shown at E3 to begin with?
So at the time of E3, the vaulting system was still in a design phase where we were making necessary assumptions, sorting out the prerequisites, and generally drawing out the outline of how the system or the feature will look like. And for E3, we decided to show just the animations and how we imagine the future to work in game.
Okay, and what has been developed since that video has been released?
So on E3 we saw the animations, but we had to put those animations in game, translate the animations into player movements. We had to develop a geometry scanning technique which would pick the correct animation, which would, like we can see here, scan the object in front of the player and perform the correct translation of the character itself. So this is still under development. It's a pretty big task, but hopefully it's going to come as soon as possible into the game.
All right, what's left to be developed for this mechanic before it can get implemented, as you said?
So there are many cases in the vaulting system that need to be handled because the obstacles vary a lot as we use the dynamic geometry scanning. So, for instance, there can be very narrow windows that you want to vault, or there can be very wide objects that you want to slide across. And for that reason, we need to come up with a lot of variants of animations. On top of that, we have different heights that you can scale. So that these can be very low objects, but they can be also very high, like way past the height of the character. And for each of these cases, you need a different animation. We are working on TPP and FPP modes at the same time. So again, the amount of animations actually gets duplicated.
All right, what are some challenges that you face developing this vaulting mechanic?
So the biggest challenge was that the vaulting system itself was the idea for it was very late in development, and we had to develop the geometry scanning technique. So the world was already built, and we had to make vaulting work with our world instead of adjust the world for the vaulting. So this was the issue. It took like a month to prototype alone. It's still under development, but we're seeing very good progress. And there's a lot of work regarding to testing. We don't want to ship it kind of not finished product. We want to make sure it works, just because it's going to change how the game is played very drastically.
Yeah, what are some expectations for as far as how it will change the game, the current meta, the current gameplay that we've seen?
Well, I'm pretty sure the change will be massive. It will fundamentally change the way you move around the map. It should facilitate the movement in a very cluttered areas such as container areas or military base, where you have many objects scattered around, but they all are in the like vaultable or climbable height. So on top of that, you have the CQB fights inside the buildings. And right now, you usually have just 1 or 2 ways of entering the building through the doors. But with vaulting implemented, you will be, of course, be able to enter the house in many different ways and surprise your enemy, basically modifying every player's tactics to not only account for the doors as main entry points, but also every other vaultable position.
Okay, and what sort of possibilities has working on this vaulting mechanic opened up for you guys for future development of the game?
So initially we designed this to be only a vaulting and climbing system, but we had in mind that this system should be extended in the future, maybe covering different types of obstacles. So we have a possibility of extending to add ledge grabbing or sliding or anything that we want. We didn't make any plans for this. We're just saying it is possible, and our new map we'll take this into account, because the old map we had to make vaulting work with it, but the new map we already decided that we're putting it in, so we actually can make the map much more fun to play.
All right, well, thank you both very much. They're still going to continue developing on this mechanic before it goes live in a short time. No time frame for that yet. But once it does go live, the developers will be monitoring community feedback. So if you have any feedback that you're going to want to give once the mechanic goes live, feel free to post on the official Battlegrounds forums, and they'll be sure to see it. Thank you very much, guys. But I'm going to toss it back to Sims and Pansy so we can get to our first game here of Squads Saturday.
Thank you very much indeed, Karen. I tell you what, it's a very deep game as it is, and you can do an awful lot, but that animation and being able to vault, and not only vault, but kind of climb, it's going to add such a new meta to the whole diverse and complex gameplay that's already there. Yeah,
for me, I love movement within games. I think it's actually one of the brilliant kind of skill ceilings you can have. I was just watching Quake a moment ago, and I was so excited watching Vu, the way he moves around the map. And it's a skill set. For me, it's another added feature that I love in this sort of game. I think it's going to be actually really fun to watch who kind of really puts into practice. I can only imagine in Georgia Pole, you know, the kind of walled-in areas that are actually quite hard to fight around. That's all open for fights now. You can easily traverse through, back away. These fights are going to be more mobile. You don't have to just be so static. There's so many possibilities. They're going to be so exciting to watch throughout this. I for one, am really, really damn excited. And I know everyone else is. Like, the community have been seeing glimpses of this, and you can tell that they've wanted to get it right, which I like. They're not rushing it. They're not going,
agreed.
Let's just put it out there, because we know what it's like. If movement doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel fluid, you're kind of like, oh, this is horrible, this is clunky, it ruins the whole environment of the game. So it's good to see them taking their time on it and really coming in when it's ready to show us what they have.
And I really get the feeling that this whole game is built off the backbone of that, listening to feedback, listening to what people have to say, the community out there. And again, you kind of heard it. If they don't like it, if there's problems, then they'll just knock it on the head and kind of revert back. But this is still, obviously, early access, still early days. We've already seen a glimpse of some of the terrains being changed, a new map that's in development, which does look a lot different, very close, lots of houses, lots of places to go. And you know what, even looking at those mechanics of the vault and stuff, it's just going to make your triggering life even better when you get into Pachinki and everyone's just bopping between houses, bopping between roofs.
It's going to be fun.
It's fun. That's the best thing about this.
It's fun. So right now, I think there is a skill ceiling and there is a skill set for people who have good movement so far in the game. I guess before people learn how to bind out the crouch jumping through windows, you know, getting onto the rooftops in certain areas, I like having skills like that. I think it's not a bad thing to have mechanics being able to be kind of pushed in certain ways, and you know, you have to have a skill to exploit it in a way. I like the way that now they've opened it up. It's like, all right, now you get everything available to you. Now everyone can get into this, and you'll see that people get really good at it. Some people don't need it, bear in mind. And I also didn't get one of these tattoos. I don't have it on my face. If anyone can bring me one, I will put it on mid-show. But also we can start talking about squads and who's been playing well so far up until this point. I'm going to save it for a little bit to really dive into the dynamics of, oh, why do you don't look sad? Oh, no. That was like a Bible thumb. That was a proper Bible thumb. But let's have a look at the combined points. Now, this is from everything. This is all things combined. So it actually doesn't make much of a difference overall on the prize money or anything like that. But this is who's the player to be looking at. You've got Luminosity up there. Ninja and Gypsy had a great run in the first-person perspective. For me, I think they really came into their own. Cloud9 overall really have stepped up recently as well. Okay, so we'll run you guys through exactly who's been winning the tournaments prior to this one. So in solos, our first place we had Evermore, second place it was Brick, and then in third place we had Hayes. Duo third person, we had our new guys that turned up and qualified on the floor. Yuki and THZ, Sweater and Borg from Cloud9 coming in second. We mentioned before, Cloud9 putting on a hell of a show so far. And then third we had WTC and Mithrin from Bosphorus. First person yesterday in the duos, Chappy and Solid FPS, C9 again claiming a victory. Quite surprisingly, I mean, we know they're very good players, but again, C9, someone who's more comfortable in that third person environment. Second place, Avenger and Pony Rider from Copenhagen Flames, and then down at the bottom in third, Forsen and Andy Pyro from Never Lucky. Andy Pyro just lining people up and knocking them down. That was a wild run at the end. Individually for me, Andy is outstanding. He went on one of those tears, right? You watch back that end of the last game, that's the moment you're just feeling it, right? Yeah. Like there's no real logic to what you're doing there. It's a smart play you made, but you're just going through it. You're just feeling the game. There's no, like, you're not considering your next step. You're just going as you know is the best choice in that kind of intuitive environment. Now, we get a second to kind of look over things and kind of take it how it is. This is time I want you guys at home to let us know who you're supporting. This is squads. So this is what we all kind of came into this thing about. We know you have your individual players you're fans of. We've got Gassy Mexican there. Big fan base for him as well. The fans have been coming through for him. But right now is your chance to tell me who you guys are supporting. At home, if you're in Twitch chat, get on Twitter right now. Hashtag Battlegrounds. Put the team name in there. Put the player in there that you're supporting, that you want to do well, that you think maybe he's been working on those squads. Because we were actually having a chat around recently. Team Liquid, they had a real boot camp. They've got that facility, I think, out in Holland, I think it is, out that way in Europe. They use it as a hub, basically, for the teams to go to. Not just the Battlegrounds team, but anyone from the organization can use to train up, get themselves ready for an event. And the Battlegrounds guys used it, so that's a huge advantage for them. And again, another team that is a very self-proprietor when you look at first person, but they said, I caught from them on Twitter yesterday, this is for them what it's all about. This is what they've been practicing. This is the squads. This is where all these teams come together and play, because this is where the big money is on the line. And again, we have teams from around the world. We have a team from Japan. We have a team from Korea. There are teams just completely across the globe. Different backgrounds, different means. We've got YouTube content creators. We've got Twitch streamers. And then we have the professionals. You know, we have some of the players from Cloud9, Luminosity that have been playing the Invitationals when we look back to H1Z1. Just generally a massive variety and a huge fan base that comes along with these players. But when you look at the money that's on the line, it's not a silly amount. $80,000 for first place, 20K a player. Moving to second, we lose 20,000. It goes to 60K.
third place, then things start to get a bit rough for these guys. It halves down to 30,000, and then finally we have 10K coming in. Top 4 paid out, but it looks like we are just I believe two players left to get on the server. I could be wrong there.
Hopefully we get an update in our ears as to what's happening. But yeah, guys, as said, the SNEC is underway. The Mythic boys are putting on a show for you. Xeon's like, that's not my team.
He just swings for him as he walks away. Get out of there. All
right, look, guys, this is the final chance to dance here. Put those hashtags in on Twitter, Battlegrounds. Let me see who you're backing in this one. Who has the squads under wraps? These teams have trained for this. I'll go through what dynamics change in this, how area denial comes in, all the synergy comes out, the individual roles, the strategies, how loot spread apart, and how teams are going to have to be really focused on where they go to. There's lots of options. Primorsk, Military Island, you've got the Radio Tower, you've got Nova, you've got Miltpower. All these places are so viable. And Sims, they've all vanished. Is it time for the game to start?
I think it is. It looks like they're in the plane. The bird's in the air. We'll see where she comes in from. On the map now, let's see what it's going to be. Straight over Millie. So coming from the south, we move up almost to the middle, just to the left. We're going to go across Pachinki, direct center, and then it's going to end on Severny also. So we got Roshok a possibility. We got people who could dive off and move to Primorsk. There's a lot of options here, Pansy.
So the extremities in this one that are the safer bets, if you get a car, the likes of Miltpower, Milta, Prison Shelter, the Povka Mansion, all out on the east. As it has a slightly sort of west approach, you can still get to Primorsk, you can still get to the hospital, Georgopol. Zaki again is one on the outskirts. Let's keep in mind where all these teams go towards. This is what I'm excited about. You're seeing Cloud9 getting out there. I think we've got about 2 to maybe 3 teams fighting over the Military Island. I wonder if we're going to see a Novo split off or how they're going to play this one through.
Just to notice as well, one thing that we're starting to see are kind of people getting their own meta, what they're happy and more comfortable with. I think this is maybe the 3rd, 4th, even 5th time we've just seen Luminosity Gaming dive out of a plane. As soon as the planes come in, let's get out, boys. Let's get us boots on the ground. Let's find some stuff. Plenty of people now here down at Millie. Opts to leave the vest and get himself a weapon because they know there's people behind them.
They need to get this loot fast, and the Kar 98 actually isn't the best early pickup because you need something for close quarter combat. You're kind of hoping for ARs, shotguns, which they have, but they're looting as a group here. Lost aiming. We've got Whitey there as well, so they're all kind of doing the same sort of thing. Luminosity playing the south side of the island, going to go down the houses. They can work their way through to Nova if they fancy it. Stone Mountain on the long shoot here. Now, let's have a look elsewhere. So, Roshok, not too surprising. Seeing Mythic there. They like that one. We've got a couple of players going out towards Yasnaya. And yeah, so that's a 4 team. That's fine. They're pretty safe. We have a lot of players eyeing up Georgopol. Only 2 splitting through to Yasnaya. Interesting. I wonder if there's going to be other players joining them eventually, or are they going for the split up here? Oshi7 up on Big Red. Now, he's actually not on the early team that we saw earlier, going towards the apartment. So there's at least 2 teams here. So again, he's with, I think, Sequisha, Serenity, and Julia. Now, no helmet yet. Does have body armor, only level 1, but he's got the guns, right? He's gone for the risky play. Now, I'm wondering if we're going to see the early battle come down here, because they've gone for the apartments on the other side, the other team. We've got the kind of offices and that sort of side split up between the other team now. So TSM going to go in towards the northern side of Georgopol. It's probably the safer side until Vaulting comes through. That could change this dynamic. You can see it's a walled environment. You can get great loot out of this. I think we saw a couple of other players eyeing up Georgopol. I don't know if they've gone to the northern side or where they're going to split this through, but this is good so far for Oshi7. 2 fully geared out rifles. I don't know if he's got a scope on it yet, but full auto capability, and then he's got the Scar probably on single fire. So he's pretty good for now. He's taking the risk to go to Big Red. He's got the loot. He needs to get a helmet, back away with his team. And basically what I was talking about before is area denial and dominance. So essentially, you put your 4 players in a position where you can dominate certain areas and you have contact points. That's all you should be doing. You shouldn't be overextending here. You shouldn't be going out on your own. But I do hear a couple of shots going through, so maybe they're starting to see each other. We have 3 different teams going for the northern side of Georgopol.
TSM all spreading to the left-hand side. We'll take the apartments, visit the back, and then we'll see MPR also all spread out across it. Several teams, as Pansy did mention. And then we look on the opposing side of Georgetown. We got Liquid down here. We've also got Stylish Noob Shaka and his team down there to the side of the hospital. So we could see some big engagements going on here. I'm really excited to see where the circle's going to be and where this is going to be forcing people around. We've also got the Panda Boys there over in the containers. So there's going to be a lot of gunfights going down, all depending on where this circle will force them into. But 1, 2, 3, what's that? Around 6 teams all throughout George.
And I actually like the way Liquid are playing this. The 2 players who've gone to the south side, Georgopol, I actually prefer that loot there. It's got incredibly high chance of very nice loot. You've got some very accessible buildings that will actually give you some really easy approaches. And yeah, this is good for all the Military Island players. Whoever dominates that, there's generally about 2, maybe 3 teams left. I'd say about 2 specifically in this environment, unless people are being very safe, who can actually dominate the island and the bridge. They'll have to consider how they exit down the line, because it probably won't end on this side of things if you look at the percentage of it being there for now. But that's all said and done. Now, something that's actually quite interesting that I like, that I hope we see here from Oshi7, Julia, Serenity.
He's rotated completely away from them.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that if you're looting around the apartments here in the Military Island, it's very easy to know where you've been and where you've not been, and it's easier for other teams to see that because you leave doors open, or at least most teams do. Even if you have some sort of, close the door system after you, you'll generally be able to leave a trace, so they can see roughly where you're at. So it's a really nice thing to keep tabs on that. Maybe put someone down near the silos, being that scout almost. But I want to see if we see those kind of defined roles here. I want to see if we see snipers coming through. I want to see if we see maybe more aggressive close quarter players. People like that. We see a lot of kind of support players coming in already, and defining themselves as that. I'm not going to be the one getting the mad frags here, but I'll happily play my role. So let's have a little look how they're approaching this. So we have Liquid quite split up again. They've gone for the kind of 2 players towards one area, 2 towards another, and maybe going to crunch together at the end. Maybe one team going to go for the longer looting approach. So essentially, you take your time, go through the Gatka south side houses, work your way back up. And I've got to say, for me, Liquid are probably the team that I wouldn't say have the most pressure, but have a lot to bring to the plate here, because they've done the boot camp, they have great individual players, they've been proving that they're all very, very diligent. Well, he's been a little quiet for my taste. I think we could see more from him. But again, Cloud9 staying as a collective, 4 players here, moving their way through Pachinki, heading out towards the farming side. You've got a couple of these long buildings that they can go through. Also, they can go to the plateau. They've got great loot here, actually. Borg already got the suppressed Scar there. Looks like it's well set. Level 2'd up. He's looking pretty nice at this point. Well into the circle, too. And we've got some people going for the crates. A little bit of a flip and a flop, but we know the Darcy is pretty strong.
Doot, they'll turn up indeed. We'll see what they get out of this crate. It could be a nice little care package for them. We'll find out in just a sec. One person's going to jump out. In fact, both of them will be jumping out, so they're both going to go for it. We've got an 8 times. We've got an M24. We've got plenty of ammo, tactical stock as well. Backpack, medkit, and knocked out from falling. So Killer Kapowski.
But you can get revived.
Yes, you can do, but it looks like she may have just dived out of the car a little bit too quickly there.
It could be a bike, it could be a car. But the thing I would say, as well for me, I actually prefer the M24 to the AWM. Now, I know that's going to be a ridiculous statement to some people, because obviously the AWM does a lot of damage, but 7.6, right? You can pick it up, you can start running the AK, full auto, well kitted. By the time you're looking at crates anyway, at least normally you're pretty well geared. There's even more. And these boys spotted someone out early.
I think Dingus Khan's definitely cop for him.
And these 2 onto this, okay, this is a big battle. You can see Chappie now getting up close and personal. He's trying to move up towards the fern trees, and he's got great cover as well. His teammates have got his back. Already going to take down Dingus Khan, but the revives are coming in, the meds are coming out, and now they need to move up as a collective, punish them while they've got that teammate knocked out, and there's still players split up here.
That was fantastic work from Chappie, because it was actually Dingus Khan who did have the drop on him, so he's definitely heard it. Turned on a pinhead, managed to take him down, answers back. Now Dingus Khan still, he's crouching forward. He at least is behind that tree, so he can try and stay alive for a little bit longer. But what do you do here? Do you take the fight, or do you wait this one out?
They have to.
There's not... I mean, when you look at this one, Dingus Khan's he should, in theory. I don't know how they're going to get him up from there unless they manage to take him out. Chappie's still tanked up there from that initial engagement. The grenades are coming in, they're forcing them back, but... Are they going to... No, they're going to back off from this one. They're just going to leave them be and
They
move
can
away.
flank to the hill, right? Because that's probably the end goal for them. They can get the high ground, and they've got them pinned here. Or they fall back away, and you can see Yunru doing some great work. He's been able to get some damage down. Good shots being put back, so it's not like a clean escape, but they could fall to the hill, they could fall to cover, and basically let themselves in. They're not in a rush, and again, there's no real escape from this either for the other team, for Evermore and the boys. There's nowhere to run to where they can't be seen. They can run up the hill and get a little bit of cover. There is enough there for the terrain to work. But for now, look at, Solid FPS has got a really keen spot here, actually. If you look at Solid FPS, if we can get a little glimpse, he's going to be spotting up above the little hut there. Really nice work. But these guys trying to work out where they are. So they're still in Georgia Pole, but I think they're going to have a couple of fights coming through here. They're eyeing up where the vehicles are because they need to start moving. Going to get themselves a buggy, maybe having to be called back to position, but at least they know there's one there for the escape. Cloud9 are on the run. They are going to go towards the hill. They're going to get themselves out of there, put down the wall of smoke.
That's incredible.
And it's nice disengage from Cloud9. They don't want to get caught up early. They know what's on the line here. Lots of money, so... And a couple of shots coming out from the Panda's side, spotting out a couple of players, leaving from, I think that's near Georgia Pole again, but on the other side, coming out from the crate side. Making their way across the bridge. They do spot the UAZ, so they at least can get out of there and make their way into the circle. Now they're all going to go, go, go. There's no one inside the compound, otherwise that could be extremely dangerous. Time and time again, you will come across this bridge and you just get mowed down by those houses because they are an absolute treat because you've got full 360 visual. If you put the squad and spread them across those houses, you can pretty much do anything you want, especially if the circle comes up this way. But it's not. They're all going to force to get in the car now. Everyone's going to start to get their way out of the way.
This is a dangerous one for Smack, if anyone does spot. We saw it yesterday. I can't remember which player it was. I think it was Flom who took out the guy going across the bridge. Because you're such an open target on the back of these buggies. But, you know, sometimes it gets the job done. You've got to make your way inside the circle.
They're quite close to each other. These two teams moving around, they're actually not that far. I don't know if they're going to go along the roadside. They probably won't. Jared's going to be listening out for this as well. He's quite isolated. He's got his teammate behind him, but still, you've got to be a little bit cautious here, a little bit careful at this point.
TSM playing a different game, because usually the kind of guys that will happily sit outside in the blue and loot late game, are they moving to a different area? Are they moving inside?
Well, this is squad battles for me. You can take a good gamble as a collective and then play together off the back of it. So you go down somewhere like Georgia, high-value area. You get enough loot that you can survive level 2 up, essentially, get at least 1 AR, bit of meds. So you're well enough set. You're not at the prime position where you're like, I can take any fight, but you're good enough, which is what they should be after a little bit of a loot at George. They should move in the early rotate towards a circle. At least it looks like what they're doing here. Get to an early spot nice and quickly, and then just play on the extremities. I think we can actually hear some of the comms here, so let's have a little listen in. Yeah, let's listen to the Liquid side right now.
You still have that 8 as well, right, Spin? Yeah, I was saying, yeah. You're gonna grab it? You wanna meet to me, right? Yeah. Grab it? Yeah, okay.
Well, if I'm gonna drop it, the extended for SKS, I should.
I can't really carry it, I think. But I'll try.
Okay.
So basically, they're just talking through loot, trying to spread the wealth, right? You want to get everyone on the right thing. And we're seeing everyone now starting to consider where the circle is, or at least moving some decent cover, decent ground. Panda guys already having a little bit of a scrap or two, but...
Oh, they've spotted someone. Is that the TSM guys from earlier on?
I don't think so. That's a lot of ground they'd have covered if it was. No, that's Gassy Mexican. The other side of the team are further ahead. They could set up a trap here, try and stop themselves, maybe pinch these guys as they move up, but everyone's trying to get towards that circle now.
Very clever what they've done, though. The Panda guys have split off into 2 different vehicles, so if one does get taken down, the others will stay alive, and that's kind of what we've been seeing throughout the duos, where 2 players will, and that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to get tanked up. Oh, you actually knock one out. That's going to be Panda 117 who falls. Yumru knocking him out. Several people. So many bodies hitting the floor there. My word.
Great upgrade as well.
Panda just got annihilated.
Yeah, you can get on the Cloud 98 here if they fancy it too, which they should be doing. Get a bit of range, try and get that nice balance, and get everyone able to be up on that good loot in the team. That's what you basically get at this. You get one fight that you win out, you're certainly well set. SK12 with a 4 times, I'm not so sure. Now, the Northern battle's going to be interesting. Nice movement from TSM. You can see them keeping in mind the time, but this could be an interesting battle. Moving away from the school side. Yasna is still pretty lightly populated, but at the end of the day, you're seeing a lot of the teams go on the long play around this.
The actual good thing, what they did there, by splitting off into 2 vehicles, it's kept them in the tournament, Pansy, because if they all would have been in that same car, all 4 would have been dead. Speaking of that, they're actually answering back that no, they've been taken out. It looks like Hotted has actually just sealed the deal on them as they turned up where they were going on their destination. They arrived, and unfortunately, yes, indeed, they are dead. They go down, so not a real good last few minutes there for Panda, unfortunately. Meanwhile, C9 all grouping up together. We're looking at some more POV, see where Interrogating his crew is. They're just getting some cars, getting ready to go when they need to. Checking out Borg there. Level 2'd out of his mind. No level 3s on them, I don't believe. We kind of saw from one of the players it was Liquid as they were moving. They did have a Car 98 with an ACOG on, so at least they have a sniper rifle.
Up against Noble as well. They're very close by. If one of these 2 teams opens up on anyone crossing through, heading from that kind of western side throughout, there's going to be a huge engagement, and the other team can creep up on them. You can see Evermore's not too far away either. Level 3 helmet here for Zreback, so at least he can play out the window, keep tabs on this, keep a watch on it. Now, he's not in the next safe zone, but they're pretty well set for now. They can traverse in quite comfortably, still on the other side of the circle, but not great loot in the form of weaponry.
No, not really. When you look at in the long term, trying to see if any of them does have a sniper rifle, because it would be best to try and give him that level 3 helmet. Meanwhile, Borg, unfortunately, is getting completely taken down. That's going to be Wan takes him with an M16. Going to try and get to cover here. Several other people, and he is out. Borg is dead. Evermore takes him with the Car 98.
And that's after the engagement they had earlier, taking down the likes of Gassy Mexican's team and co. Basically, it got them a bit of range. We haven't seen that much before. We still see them with shotguns here, a couple of them, but they did manage to pick up SKS's Car 98s, able now to take these fights. Cloud9 going full third-person perspective. Let's hear what they're up to.
Really pushing?
Anyone rotating, Sweater, keep your eyes peeled. We gotta screw up anyone that tries to rotate past this.
So, solid FPS there, caught out on his own. Basically, it seemed like part of the Cloud9 guys are in a good position to catch rotates. That was the main point. They're still here. They can be the kind of gatekeepers of the next position. but the problem is that they weren't all there together. It's very hard as a squad to not get caught out on your own, but that was a little bit lax from them in my eyes.
Yeah, they did chill off for a second. Meanwhile, Dingus Khan can be pushing up. He's got a level 3 vest, only a level 1 helmet, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. Interrogates on the horizon, though. The Noble boys can hear these shots cracking off, and they know people are falling, so they're just waiting to come down. He's created himself a little bit of a base, put the UAZ in front of him. He's also got the bike if they do need to jump on and bail out. However, look at this. Noble are primed and waiting for the guys on the opposing side for intro. It looks like they've got the information, Pansy. They're backing off for a second. We could be seeing a good engagement going down between this. I mean, you wouldn't expect them to push it because it's an open ground area. Why would you really run up there and just go through? If they don't have the information, though, they could be getting met. In fact, it looks like they're dipping to the left, so they kind of know what's going on here. But both these two teams just trying to feel each other out.
I'm honestly surprised no one's really playing towards the eastern side of this map yet. It's probably the safest part. You look where the plane drops initially, you look at the trajectory, it's obviously going to favor the kind of western side. And this is why I like what TSM are doing. They're kind of playing slightly further out towards the east. Like, there's almost no one at Lepovka here. You've got one player going for the drop, obviously out in the sea. Stoda, and we've still got the team up towards the north in Yasnaya. But yeah, the vast majority are all locked around this kind of shelter to farm section. And it's basically, you almost don't want to engage at these points. They don't know how many are there, of course. They don't understand how rife this is with players, but any next circle that forces these guys to move from one side to the other are going to be having a lot of battles throughout this area.
Liquid separated earlier on, but now they're all back together and once again creating themselves a little bit of a base. We're going to see Sakisha, though, killing Stone Mountain with an AKM. We did see them kind of splitting off. You watch where Vicstar was. He was completely north, but unfortunately Stone Mountain was completely south, so they went for a game where they wanted to kind of split up, play the late one, try and stay alive, and maybe if they spread themselves across the map, maybe they potentially could do that so they all didn't fall at the same time. He has, however, left himself open as he does go down. We'll see Molman as well knocking one player. Not entirely sure which that was. I didn't quite catch it, but that looks like it's going to be Wans.
Nice
Wan's dead.
Scoom. He's holding a different angle, so basically there's no safety to run back to here without one of the Liquid guys being able to see one of the opposing sides. It's beautiful play. It's very smart. He doesn't want to overextend, though. You can see these guys trying to recollect themselves, try and get over the hill lip, try and get over to the other edge, dodging and weaving as best he can. But the Pan actually takes one of those shots for him. Really nicely done from the Pan there. MVP of the game. But for now, they do manage to find a little bit of cover as they do make it away to the other side of the ridge.
I don't think he knows where he is because he's still staying on that ridge and still jumping. If he knew he was to his left-hand side, he'd obviously move right and go further down the hill, but clearly they don't have the information, so one of their players will drop. Speaking of players dropping, unfortunately C9 still huddled up here in the shack, 2 members alive. Another team also, it's going to be Yoonroot's team, 4 Entro. They're still going to be in the shack now chilling because they have just lost one also. But again, people just kind of boxing themselves in, Pansy, getting them in a bit of a dugout situation so they can just kind of hold this one because it's a very wide circle right now. This thing could really go anywhere and completely flip the game on its head.
I actually really like the way the extremity is being played out here by Serenity, Oshi7, the Luminosity guys. Drassel and Chipsy have got a really nice idea to it. I'm not sure if Ninja's still there. I can't see him. Obviously, the UI covers some of it.
And they've just got themselves a package as well. Look at that drop.
Look, if you guys heard Andy and Forzen singing yesterday, you know that you don't go for drops all the time. All right, there's people watching that. Even though you sit there going, I can make it.
As we kind of saw from Noble on day number 1.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be a little cautious on it. You don't need to necessarily go for these things every single time. They're a great adjustment, a great addition if you're dying for gear, but sometimes it's best to use it as bait. Sometimes it's best to hold your ground and just stay as you are and then kind of linchpin and pivot off the point.
Which kind of, when you looked at where Oshi7 was, for example, maybe if they step out, Luminosity, they're going to put themselves in the firing range. You know, they'll be able to see where they are, bear down on them. You can see it. It's right in front of them. We'll now see what Luminosity does. It's time to go. They're getting in the UAS and they're moving as a force. So look for them to enter the fight within the next few minutes. That is dead center.
So this will be fun. So basically the most fight, at least in my eyes, will be the southwestern side as everyone kind of crunches in. For me, it's who's close enough to the circle already and has a bit of cover. So we've got Cloud9 in a good spot, Liquid as well. Killer Kapowski and the guys over there, good position, but Noble are going right past Cloud9. This could be a huge showdown if they actually take the engagement. AWM's on board, but everyone's so terrified to take these fights as we speak. Hodded still in this one, Forzen, of course, Andy with them as well. You're still in good position, but here come the shots, here comes the fire. Cloud9 huddling in together. You can see all the cars going past. They should start taking these engagements at some point, but then again, they are in the safe zone, so it's Liquid unleashing as we speak. Noble are in trouble. A couple of shots come through, a couple of knockouts come in. They're going to be having to operate with less than the ideal. There's the explosion as well. Ollie managed to take down Idaculus there, And now it looks like Noble are really struggling. Good work coming in, and now Forsen joins in, also giving away. They know there's another team here now. The more you see chiming in with these kills, the more you see Forsen doing that, you can work out where the other team are and how it's going to work out for you in the late game.
Rather unfortunate there. Noble drove up and just got completely annihilated and eliminated from the server. You saw 2 vehicles blowing up, 2 members going down, several of them getting knocked out. Liquid just washing players the way as they drive on by, and all of a sudden it's TSM's time. They are now turning up to the fight, but where they're going to go downstairs. This is a dangerous one, because if anyone's down here waiting for them,
gassy Mexicans here.
Dear, they can get funneled.
This could be huge, and you're going to hear these footsteps. You can see them third-personing, and it's a smart plan, but there's still so many angles. It's so dangerous to do this late game. I actually really don't like them going for this. Curvy Llama, you can see she's well aware of this being a possibility.
They're watching these tunnels and like, okay, I don't think this is the best option. We will abort mission. They're going to jump in the UAZs and dive away. So that'll at least... I think there's 2 vehicles between... Oh, is he being knocked out somewhere? Surely he's in the cars with them.
Well, we found Viz at least. He's just got absolutely hammered. So that's a bit of a revenge frag as well. They weren't able to kill the entirety of the Noble side. So there's the avenging moment. Boom's still considering what to do. He's over by the underground tunnels. This is Interrogate right here, and there's so many people around this area. Ollie as well managed to knock out Andy. That's a huge head to claim here.
All he needs to do is stay alive, though. Liquid Ollie will knock out Andy, as you did mention, K98 there, so we'll see another engagement going on. But the Noble guys, they've only got 1 player remaining, so they need to stay alive to grab those points, to get up into the top of that leaderboard if they want to stand any chance of being inside the money. All he now needs to do is get down and pray. Be a very sneaky beaver, approach these fights, don't tech them, just let people engage themselves, and then eventually turn up late game.
And even with Andy being knocked out there, the point is that if you hold buildings and you hold this, you're very likely to get revives in. So essentially that's the main game plan. You split 2-2, so you can't get overwhelmed in one, you don't get naded out or pinned out, but you always have a revive function there. Now, there's so many people alive because people are terrified. There's a lot of money on the line, of course, so people are not going to be rushing this. And we do see 2 teams very close by. The spray comes in. Smack, you're hoping it was break with the spray with the Scar with that, but he does get a good connection, but also gives away his position. And there's so many players nearby. Very hard to play with those deflays and all that cover nearby, but you can see the push coming in down below. Anyone who tries to walk down there is getting absolutely hammered. It's a bit of a tunnel of doom as we speak.
One-shot girl trying to tank some players up on the hill there. She will have the K98 and a decent scope at least. Still going for these. One will lean the shot. You can see the bullets pinging off the floor, so those guys up there, they're in a really, really bad spot because there's nowhere else to go. Spygia takes out Evermore. Yunru also will fall, but that's going to be Shaka's POV we're on at the moment. Boom! See you later, my friend. He is eliminated. Down he goes with the grenade. In the meantime, we hop on board with the Mythic guys. There's just fights kicking off all over the place, and this is because of this circle. It's just forcing everybody in from the circle. There's no real advantage to where people are.
So Andy hotted. All of these guys should be winning these fights. They have the full cover. Everyone else is moving towards them. You can see the panic, the fear. Everyone's prone down, trying to find a bit of cover, a bit of something to work with. There's almost nothing here. They're trying to get the revives in, but they need someone to make a distraction play, keep them busy so they can't push, so they can't nade. And that's what Yamaton is doing right now. Nading up and over, going to keep them busy as much as he can. Smoke nades, doesn't matter. Give them a couple of seconds. But no, the fire comes in from the back lines. They are struggling severely here. There's no respite. There's no one stopping. Evermore is destroying the opponents as we speak. This guy gets the revives in. They're back up now, and these guys are in a decent spot, but the circle is far away. This will push out this side of the circle. We're down to 58 here. These battles are not over.
3 of them fall in consecutive reason. And now the circle's moved once again. Only 3 teams are there, but plenty of people are turning up to fight, and there is red dots all over the place. Andy Pyro, SKS in hand, just checking outside. Let's see what he does. He's going to get pre-stimmed up and pre-healed. Unfortunately,
no helmet on Hotted.
Yeah, I was just about to say, someone's dinked him at least. So he's clearly seen someone's died there. Managed to at least get a level 1. It's better than nothing. It's not the best of things. Finds himself, whether or not this is his... In fact, no, because obviously he's killed someone there. So he's turned up to this compound late game. There's a car parked. His teammates in there as well. And they've got a bit of a decent position for now, but I tell you what, they have such a long way to go.
Yeah, a teammate might just screw him over to just take out the tires right about now, just to be a nuisance. Or they can go for the shots. They might as well. Oh, they're taking too long on this. That's a disaster for Forsen and the boys. Big spray down comes in as Dingus can't define the shot towards Andy, and they were just segregated. They weren't getting a lovely connection from Evermore. And at the moment, there's a huge battle here. They need these cars, but they also want to take down the opponents. How do you play this one out? They do get the final kill. They give down Andy. The big heavy hitter is now out from this team.
Previous winner yesterday, he is gone. Rather unfortunate for him. Some great shots cracking off here from Evermore with the K98. 3 of them, though, now. They are just pinned in. Evermore and the boys for intro. They know that they need to move. That's exactly what they're going to do, but they're going to run perpendicular just to see if anyone else wants to take another pop. If not, probably dive inside that car and just get a wriggle on. Zweebak, level 3 helmet, but not the best of guns. SK-12 in his back pocket and an Uzi. Not really much you can do with that one long term, but level 3 vest, level 3 bag, level 2 helmet here for Adren, and he definitely knows someone's here. In fact, you can just see them now on the horizon. 1, 2, 3 players.
He's also got a Kar 98. I'm not sure what scope he's got on it, but he could take this. Once the teammates get with him into position, you can see they're just below. They can engage once they sit still. Takes his time on the shot, needs the headshot as well. He gets it. Sign seal delivered. Adren once more as well. Eyeing up the rest. He can't get the give, of course. He can do another tag. He needs his teammates there, and they do it. That's good work from them. And this is what I like to see. Good coordination, good timing on the engagements, still being aware of their backs as well. This is what I expect from these guys. Hayes as well, finding Moondie. There's a lot of action going down. WTCN still in this too as well. So much action across the map here.
Mythic just laying down the law. Several players falling. We'll see a Groza in play as well. That's going to be Anger taking one out. Interrogate also claims one himself. One shot girl just creeping around. Still inside the circle. Some great shots here from AMPR, making sure they're trying not to get away with that car. Flom takes out one as well. Tobias will go down with the AKM, and he's just tagging him up, tanking him away. Hayes knocks out one. Chappie knocks out one.
Cloud9 are in trouble.
Oh, Cloud9. They got one player. No, I think they're going to be gone, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think that's the end of Cloud9's life in this competition right now for Game 1.
Look how many people are alive, and look at this circle. Can we just show the map for one quick second? I know you want to see the action, but you need to see what we're going into. Look at this. It's ridiculous. There's so many fights all over the place. Let's dive in on one of the battles going down right now. The eastern side is being pinched in. Oshi and the team are in real trouble here. You can see Sequisha's been knocked out. Or been killed, should I say. They're having to move into preset teams. Julia dying out of the play zone. That's pretty Oshi7 just about making it to the tree. He's going to try and do the Rambo effort here, all on his lonesome, but there's so many eyes looking towards him. So many nades. And yeah, Scoom's going to find Oshi7. It's looking like that one is all done and dusted. Good position here coming out from those guys, WCTN and the Bosphorus boys.
It just shows and goes to show how wild this is, because every time you see one team shooting at another, it's another team that comes in and cleans up the kills. Every single time you'll just see a little bit of an engagement, someone else jumps in the fight. We see Interrogate finally killing one player that's going to be dying outside the circle. Umroot and Evermore just laying ever so steady, but they do have the bike if they need to get away. Vixter also finally falls. That's going to be Interrogate's kill.
Only one team is now in the circle safely, and that's TSM. Everyone else will have to go there eventually. Adren, Lex, and Flom still need to traverse their way in there, but they've spread out a player just behind the tree, and they need to get past it. But shots coming in from left, right, and center make them wonder who else is watching this. Where else can I go? Nade to hand, and they're waiting to drop this one.
Ninja takes out one with an AWM. That's going to be well, that grenade hit. Oh, they're just going just so short.
That's a big shot.
That's a nice answer back.
With the level 3 vest, that's going to be the AWM or something pretty heavy coming through. If that's going to be landing like that, I'm not sure who's landing those shots. It's pretty darn far away, whoever that may be.
It'll be Ninja, because Ninja does have the AWM in hand.
It might be, because his helmet was already damaged, so if he took a shot to the head, that would have broken and probably knocked him. So I can only think it was that at that sort of damage range. However, that aside, let's jump in on who we have left here. One shot girl tries to get into cover, tries to find a bit of respite.
Close the door.
Doesn't shut the door behind. Maybe born in a barn, who knows, but holding on to this position for dear life.
Please shut the door on me. Leave me alone. Ninja knocks out WTCN with the AWM, so he's gone down there. Cross comes in, unfortunately takes out one for them. 2 kills now coming in for Adren.
You got to run.
They've got to move because it's going to start to do that ticking damage, but he is double stimmed up at least. And look at the Dacia, dead people. It just pulls up. That might have just been the savior of the game, annihilating that team so they can just drag his dead body out and take away with the car.
Yeah, it is, but you're going to make a hell of a lot of noise. You know, it's a big welcome to the party here. Mythra's now going to make a run for it, but he's in the open, in trouble. He's going to try and dodge and weave and try and do what he can, but it looks like Lex and the guys are taking a bit of a second to heal up and then get into the battle. Hope that everyone else does the damage for them. This is a huge fight. Stat's been found. Oh, the car just about misses Mumino. He stays alive, but now the crunch happens. Everyone's getting together. Luminosity find a bit of cover in towards that huge hangar. Lucy Mays just roll up towards it. That's going to be another battle going down. Nice bit of cover here towards this side of things in the south. But yeah, everyone's getting knocked out by the play zone. This is going to start hurting. All the Mythic guys have now fallen into trouble. Chipsy gets found by the M24. Scoom delivers that to the brain. He's going to be crawling away, tail between legs. Not much more to be said about him unless a revive can come out from Ninja. He has to be an MVP here again.
Luminosity doing some work. Can he get this player up? He's checking every single corner because this is such a dangerous position to be in. He needs to get these players up. There is another one on the opposing side. So that could be Luminosity with 4 players up should they get the revives. But now it's all onto Liquid. They need to move in. They're moving up.
Scoom's got an 8. Is that an 8? No, M24, excuse me. So yeah, he's going to be a big heavy hitter as well. Play you're certainly looking at. Ollie
Grabs himself one as well. 17 remaining on the map. We'll just see Ollie trying to get this guy round the corner of the tree. He knows he's there. He's going to get some sprays off. M4 in hand, silencer to hand as well. Nice ACOG scope, level 3 helmet, level 2 vest. Ninja takes Forzen also, so he has got his teammates up. Luminosity playing an amazing game so far.
But Liquid's positioning is going to be able to catch him on the cross, so it will be Ninja having to dig him out of that position or hope that someone else engages them on their way towards that kind of slow side of the circle, towards the southwest western side. Yeah, good tag from Scoom, but tags are not enough at this point. 16 alive, that's still a lot of teams up. So again, Liquid, I like the position. They're playing really well as a collective. They've got great loot on this one. Break is being an absolute git. This is what I mean. This is why I asked where Break was. He's been playing the circle the whole time. It means that his team is getting an incredibly higher ranking than it should have been. That is him just playing the game, isn't it? Fair play to the guy. If he can do it, why not? But right now, Luminosity up against Liquid is the big battle here. A little bit of cover left in the open, but actually they're finding these kills. Ninja still going to be doing the damage, and Moleman just gets caught by the blue zone. They're running into this one. It looks like Luminosity are going to hold their ground as long as they can.
Now they're going to have to run, though, because the blue's on the back. But I tell you what, it's Ninja who's spraying people down. Make that 5. Knocks out. That's going to be Ollie going down. Lays on the floor. He's going for this, gets the kill as well. Make that 6. Amazing work from Luminosity there. All 4 players still remain. They're spreading out, and look at the players that are just dying all across the blue zones, doing its damage. 8 alive, and LG, they have all 4. Make that, so it's a 4-on-3 right now.
Yeah, we're going to see the positioning that Ninja takes. He can go solo on this one. He kind of wants to play by himself almost in a way. Let the other 3 players they are. He can kind of be the split-up factor. But I wonder if they're going to realize, is Break still alive? That's what I'm curious about as well here. Has he played the system that much? Has he proven another point here? We'll find out in a second. It's close quarter combat time. As now Ninja's looking for more. This guy's hungry for the kills just over this ridge. There could be players by the tree. We're hearing the shots come off. Mumino's taking down AMPR. They're all prone in the grass. You can see Ninja now eyeing up the shot. And back and forth we go, waiting this one out. Is Mumino sprays in. He does take down Ninja. Getting too hungry. Want to do it all himself. But surely this can't be the superhero effort from Mumino. No, it's not. He goes down. Second position for him. But overall, Luminosity putting up a great performance.
LGG, they claim their first victory this weekend. And what an amazing run by those players, standing the ground inside the compound at the end there, just by the empty farm. They had to run it. They had Liquid to go up against, but I tell you what, they took the fight, Pansy. They did it well. Ninja stayed alive. Then you saw Drassel coming in, won him himself. But what an awesome game from these guys. Drop all the way at the bottom and then just slowly work your way in, stand your ground, take your fights when you need to. And I like what Ninja did, just kind of cut off from the rest of the pack to be that little bit of bait, give the information to the team, and then all of a sudden, well, it all paid off. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. LG take game 1.
Yeah, this is what I expected as well. The kind of more established teams to be left there towards the end. It's a smarter way of playing. They had good cover. I think if there was any more cover towards the side they had to traverse to, we could have seen a bit more of a battle, but at that point it was just a culling from Luminosity. They were just handing out free haircuts to everyone. It was just pretty beastly from them. Again, though, there was literally no cover on the other side. They had to take the fight to them, and they did that. They did not miss those shots. Really well played to them. I thought maybe in that in these sort of situations, you might have seen more from Liquid, because they played the circle well. They got the rotates on time, but Ninja caught a couple of them on the way. He played very well individually. AWM in his hand seems to be suiting very nicely.
You spoke about Break playing the late game, staying up there and healing through, but AMPR, I did see him go down in that kill feed very late on, so TSM, I think they're going to be right up there. I think they're going to be in the decent points bracket. We'll find out when we actually bring the initial or the end point scheme up. We can show you the leaderboard, I believe, just after we've had the interview. But now we're going to go down to the floor with Cameron and Luminosity. Cameron, how are the guys feeling?
Yes, I am here with Ninja and Chipsy from LG, who just won our very first game of squads. Now, the couple of days leading up to this game right now, a couple of your members, I remember specifically you, Ninja, actually got really close to breaking into the top, like the important top numbers of the game, but just barely weren't able to make it, weren't able to medal in this event. How big of disappointments were that? And did you expect to have your greatest performance in the squad's performance?
Could you ask the first part of that question again? I got the second one, but
how disappointed were you with your with just being so short from the previous days?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any worse than literally falling right out of the prize and the money. Like, we got 4th, but we didn't get a medal. And then yesterday, Tuesday, I got 5th, and we didn't get money. And I mean, we were just sad. We like pretty much just moped around all night, but we knew that squads coming into this, we were super confident. We knew that this is what we were honestly practiced the most for. I mean, we come from H1Z1, which is another Battle Royale game, and we just got the experience. So it feels great to win the squads, the first game of the squads, and we just got to keep doing it.
All right, now you're saying that you're definitely most comfortable in squads. This game in particular, though, did it kind of go according to plan that you had from the very start, or were there just tons of curveballs thrown at you? Like, walk me through how this game worked out for you guys, as far as you and your mental space and everything going according to plan.
The game definitely didn't go the way we wanted. We used the regular strat that we've been using all days, but this time it didn't go the way we wanted. So it ended up with us having to move through something that we decided we wasn't going to do in practice, but we had to do it anyways. And
what was that, if you don't mind sharing?
That was edging the gas. We ended up losing our car and we had to edge, which in practice we didn't want to do. But in this situation, we had to do it. But through good communication and good shots, everything, we managed to pull through.
Yeah, we literally played it as perfectly as you can. The only way to correctly play the edge is to make sure that you're gonna have to eat some blue damage a little bit and shoot players as they're rotating. But not everyone can stand still. People have to continue to move, and then when they stand still to shoot, one of our guys has to shoot. And you just and that's how we played it. We were picking off the guys 2 or 3 people coming out of the gas to our back left, and then our back right, and then one guy prone, and then another guy coming out of the gas even further. And that's the only way to survive edging is to just laser everyone, and we killed so many people at the end.
How likely do you feel like you're going to be able to repeat this performance in the next games coming up?
I mean, very likely. The issues that we ran into yesterday, I mean, Drassel and Drassel and JP are 2 other teammates. They're like slayers. They have the best shots in the game. In my opinion, they're very good. And yesterday when they were doing the 2 days, they're not shot callers, right? They listen very well, and their shots are, like I said, are amazing. So when Chipsy and I knew that, we just need to keep communicating, and they just need to. I mean, squads is the least random because you have the most eyes, most communication, teamwork, man, and that's why. I mean, yeah, we got this, dude.
All right, well, congratulations and good luck for the upcoming games. We can do this now. Going to go to another quick break before we go into game number 2. Don't go anywhere; it's still anyone's game at this point.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the floors of Cologne. We are here, we are live, we are kicking, and we are at the Battlegrounds Invitational 2017, and we've just seen Luminosity take first blood. Game 1 is over and done. We are moving into match number 2. Just to remind ourselves, this is, of course, the squad third person in action today, and there is a total grand prize pool of $180,000 on the line. Everything to play for today, Pansy. All roads kind of meet here.
Yeah, this is the important one in my eyes. I think we're seeing, you know, the real team's going to come through. We've seen the Luminosity has a really good approach to it, good positioning throughout. I think we're seeing the teams who are a little too hesitant. I still want to like go back to kind of the teams are still alive so late into the game. Like people are still so scared to commit. We saw very few people actually coming in from the east. So generally, if you want longevity that we've seen so far, you take the kind of longer gamble, right? You try and get yourself a car, and you head out to the furthest way away, loot your way back in. But let's have a look at how this stands so far. So Luminosity are in first, so they're going to lock that one down for now. Up in second, though, is Cake and those guys. Mumino was alive very late in the game. Third, still going to be Andy, Fours and those guys. Kills are actually coming through quite a lot for them right here. TSM in fourth. And you can thank Break for a lot of that too. He stayed alive over and basically from Zaki to Georgopol till very late in the game. The rest of his team got a fair few kills. But the Liquid guys, you can see the high kill count on them too.
The one thing that we do need to know is just how many kill points we got coming out of Luminosity. Fair enough, they bagged the 500, but then they stick another 52 on top. That's given them a very nice buffer in comparison to the teams below. And look at that, clear by over 160 points, bang on. Down third, below them on second. Yeah, I'm usually not good at math on the fly, but I think it's 160. Either way, that's given them a very nice buffer going into game number 2. Yep. And it's all kind of eyes on the prize. But as you mentioned, Liquid, TSM, we got Mythic, we got all the rest of the teams in there. We got Bosphorus, Anti-Pyro and Forzo, Never Lucky, they're up there also. All these different teams, they're still within reaching distance. And
look, we've seen Luminosity in this position before. They've had good games, got to the top, and they had one bad round, and you can see it slip. So again, they need to not let that creep back into their minds. They need to keep that clear, you know, forget about when it went wrong before. I think that's Anger right there for the Mythic side. He's getting himself ready, of course. And they had a decent enough game. Played a little late coming back into it, sadly. They didn't really time it very well, the Mythic guys. They did, you know, quite a lot of work coming through, but then caught in the blue. Again, you've got to be early enough on your rotates that if you get caught in a fight from A to B, that you still have time to traverse the gap, essentially, and obviously you try and just do the best you can, right? You'll never know if you're going to have a fight, but you try and leave enough time to be able to get from A to B. But still, a lot to be played for. Of course, it's basically, in my eyes, all about that top 2. And that's where the big money is.
Tier 3 Gaming still doing well. Cake and Mumino, we've seen them do quite a lot of stuff in these last few events over the last 3 days. And they're still up there fighting for that money. But for now, we're going to go down to the floor where Cameron has an interview for us. Cameron, how are you doing?
I am here joined by Hunk from Zero Latency. You are a streamer, correct?
I am a streamer, correct.
And so I could go on and ask really generic questions like, oh, what's it like to play against pros and all that good stuff. But I want some meat. Earlier we were talking, you were saying that you and your team had a specific strategy to play against professional players. You want to give us a run through of what that was?
I would love to. Where we come from is we come from a background where we have never played together before. So what we need to do is we need to mix it up. Otherwise, there is nothing that we can do against these players that have been playing together for months.
You have to break the meta, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So what we decided to do is that we split up in 2 groups and try and just get as much loot as possible, because we've noticed that we don't get enough loot if we just go as a group. So that's what we need to counter them, because almost always we are near the safe zone, at least one of us is. And this game right here in this tournament has mostly been about survival and who can survive the longest. And then if it works out, we meet on the middle and we will be a full squad, fully looted, fully ready for combat. Otherwise, we will just try and survive and see how good we can do.
How did that strategy work out for you in this previous game?
It worked very well this game. We got 7th, and we got some kills. And what we did was that we dropped in a high loot area in a city, and another near a high loot area by a pier. So we had vehicles near us, we had loot, we had everything that we needed to get. And then we met up, and we were ready to combat those squads that had looted together and didn't have as much weapons.
And I'm afraid that having this interview may speed up this process, but are you afraid that it's going to take that other teams are going to basically zero in on what you're doing and be able to start to counter it? Or is that not really a concern of yours?
I think it's such a weird strategy that's never been used before that there's not really a counter to it at the moment. The only thing that can counter is that if we drop at the same spot as many other squads, it's going to be hard to combat them because there's only 2 people of the squad to combat a full squad. But right now, it's worked out.
Have you found it being favorable that you're actually in a smaller group? Like instead of being 4 people all running around and making a lot of noise and just showing bodies everywhere, have you found it to be more successful to have 2 smaller groups to be a little sneakier and smaller, silent, more silent?
100%. 2 smaller groups make less noise. That's just how it is. And whatever vehicle you find, you will always be able to drive with 2 people. Because some people are 4-seaters, some are 2-seaters, so you can always get out of there if you're 2 people.
Going off of that, one last question. What is your favorite vehicle? Do you have a certain preference on buggies over bikes over what? What's that?
My favorite vehicle is the US, considering it's so durable. You can drive anywhere with it, and it is really hard to flip. And I'm good at flipping cars otherwise, so.
Well, it's definitely good to have. Thank you for talking to me. Good luck on the next couple of matches. We're going to throw it back to Sims and Pansy while we get into game number 2. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Cameron. So, and this kind of goes to the whole product of what we've been saying about this event, Pansy. There is just a total variety of people, a variety of personalities, and a variety of skill levels. And when you kind of throw that in, and especially in this game where anything can happen, anything really does happen. We've seen a couple of pro players just getting smashed by people we won't expect it, but then it just, in the later game, when you look at that scoreboard, it really throws a spanner in the works.
Yeah, it really does. I think that, as said, I want to look back at that. Someone really likes those Frit. Did you see the amount of them on that desk?
They are
Someone's
amazing.
been hammering out the sweeps.
They are incredible.
But I think down the line we need to see the scoreboard after game 2, because that's where it really kind of everything comes through, and that's where you can see either if it's possible or not for people to change around positions. I'm kind of hoping, again, people use the map as best they can. I want to go back to the point that was brought up a little bit in the fact of having kind of 2 squads as well, but I want people to use the entirety of the map. So the circle kind of went slight towards the east, around the kind of like Yasnaya to Milta, sort of, including farm and shelter. Most people, because they all went out towards Georgia Pol, Pachinki, Roshok, they all ended up on the western side. And very few of them actually took the time to go out to the eastern side and work their way back in. We saw almost no fights from the edge of the mansion, towards the prison. There's a lot of ground there that they could have worked through from. So again, just kind of going opposite to where the plane initially lands, especially in squads, works out a little better. You can generally keep tabs on where people are. I'd like to see a little bit more of that, using the map to its fullest extent and kind of always reminding yourself where it started off. There is limited cover over there, bearing in mind. That's probably a big factor why a lot of them didn't go for it, but we saw such a big crunch towards the plateau leading in towards the underground bunkers that I want to just see people kind of using the map as best they can. Don't be so static, don't be so terrified to get into these fights, because again, there's so many people alive so late into this game that we just get these kind of huge massacres that go down.
Luminosity kind of broke the generic meta, I want to say. I mean, they've got their own game plan, which is get out the plane, go to the edge of the map, and work your way in. Rather than what we've been hearing by a lot of players, okay, look for the circle, get center, get yourself dug into a building, and just let that circle come to you. Let the people approach you. Rather than doing that, they approached from the blue, they approached the edge, stayed on the outer ring, and worked their way in and just melted people on their approach.
That's all good and well to say, but then again, they were pretty central to the circle when it actually came in.
Agreed.
And it's like, if you apply that theory when you don't have someone like Ninja going off, then it probably doesn't actually work. If you have Ninja getting a load of kills, it's like, yes, I can say anything and it sounds accurate. I don't think you can get away with it every single time. They had really good cover. They had the only piece of cover really left in the final circle, and they played it very well. Again, when you've got an individual player having a lot of impact, and it's Ninja out of them, that's even better. That really comes through them in the big picture. So we'll see if it works again in this time. I like the theory they have that when they get out early and they just take whatever they get given and then work from it. It seems that it's very centric to crates as well. Seemed like a big fan of that. They had a lot of risk and a lot of gambles, but they got themselves back up. Having that cover, of course, allows you to actually get revives in. Again, if you're in these open fields, you don't get that. But at the moment, they're showing themselves to be a very diligent team, quite smart at it, and they have a lot of firepower. So we'll see if that follows up into this one. That's the next big thing. It's a matter of consistency now. They've set the bar very high for themselves. Now they need to meet it again.
I do think we are about to get this second game underway. If we're not, we're a few minutes out. We'll just revisit that scoreboard to show you the current standings and give a little bit of a glimpse of how things are, of course, weighing up. If you are just joining us, welcome along. This is our 4th and final day here at the PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds Invitational, and here you go. So, game number 1, we've seen Ninja and his crew taking that one with a victory. Kick again, we've seen some amazing plays out of Kick. cake with that M24 earlier on, and Mumino doing some work, comes in second. We see Hotted falls on Andy Pyro. Andy Pyro putting on an absolute stormer of a game yesterday and winning and taking, of course, that third and final map. And then we move down to fourth place. We see TSM just sneaking into the money, but well and truly on the back. Sixth and fifth, we have Liquid and Bosphorus. We got Mythic down there in seventh. But remember, guys, top four is the money bracket. That's exactly where all that one's. That's where you want to be ending at the end of today. It goes 80, 60, 30, and 10. 180k split between top four. But Luminosity, Ninja, Drassel, JP2, and Gypsy currently standing strong.
So again, if you want a very kind of competitive matchup, you want the top three to not be anywhere near that top three, or even top four, really. Because that's where the points, actually, no, in top four to about kind of 10th, there's still room for people to jump in around the same marker, but top three gets such heavy points, and they got kills as well. If you want to see a different top three, you've got to hope that they get picked up early, or they have, you know, something go wrong for them early on. Otherwise, they've got a really good, you know, kind of foothold into this matchup so far, just because the fact they actually got kills with it too. That's the big thing for me. The additional 32 points, 52 points that came from kills alone from the top two teams, that's really, really big. That's going to help them massively. And again, the same with Liquid. The reason they're, you know, quite substantially, well, not substantially, but a little ahead of the others down in sixth is they got a good chunk of kills there to really bolster it. And that's what I mean with Luminosity. You've got a really nice balance so far, of what they can do. So you've got the firepower and you've got the kind of playing for the points system. So again, they're able to go back and forth in that sort of aspect, and that is really, really integral to get yourselves towards the top. And if I'm honest, I don't see a situation where Luminosity are going to fall out of that. I see them being able to at least get top 5, top 10s, and then you add in the kill factor to that, they should be staying within this top 3.
So anything still to play for? We'll get this one underway as soon as possible, guys. Remember to tweet this stream, use the hashtag Battlegrounds. We are keeping an eye. Who's your favourite player? Which team you going for? Give us a shout. Pansy's watching Twitter. We'll see who people are backing at home. It can be about individual performance, but remember, this is squad, so which team are you backing to win this thing? Game 1 is all said and done, but it's only game 1. This is a best of 3, and all points add up. It can completely flip on its head, which for Luminosity, they've actually seen the previous one we saw yesterday, Gypsy and Ninja. They were in for the win. They had a good potential, but unfortunately, I think they finished around 34th, 32nd.
So, while you get your tweets into us, get them going right now. We're going to go and have a quick look at the interviews with the players while we wait as they get themselves ready for the next matchup.
I played a lot of third person when it first came out, but so far, first person has been my favorite mode. I have a lot of experience in first person shooters, and that's the game mode where I can feel a lot more comfortable being aggressive and pushing on people.
Absolutely third person.
Third. First person.
Honestly, I like third person. First person, without a doubt.
Third person.
Both.
Yeah, first person.
Third person all the way.
First person. Easy.
First person.
Third.
First person.
Third person.
First person.
Third person.
Both.
Definitely third person.
First person.
First person. Third person.
I think first person.
First person.
Definitely first person.
First person.
First person.
First person.
Third person.
First. No question.
The middle of nowhere south of Gatka, so people will leave me alone, and hopefully I don't end up scrambling to find a gun and everybody else has assault rifles and I've got a sickle.
My favorite place to land's got to be Bashinki.
If I'm playing solo and I just want kills, it's going to be school or military. If I'm playing more tactically, playing for the win, it's going to be something like Severny probably.
My favorite place to land is probably Pochinki.
Probably going to be somewhere in the outskirts. Probably George. George is going to give you a lot of loot. However, it has bordered walls and it's very compartmentalized, so you can feel safe while looting.
Wherever I get map control.
Favorite place to land is probably going to be the military base or the school. I like those fast action places and just go get right in there and fight everyone.
I'd say Georgopol. Georgopol is my favorite place to land.
My favorite place to land would be Primorsk or Novo.
Roshnok, probably on the west coast. West coast is best coast. Make sure you go there. It's got all the best gear.
Far away from everybody so I can loot up and then go to the late game.
Military zone.
Right in the middle in Roshnok.
Georgopol on the shipping crates right there. I feel like it's one of the easier places to control, and it's a place I've practiced the most landing at.
Milita. My favorite place is Milta Power.
Mansion.
Pochinki.
Lipovka.
School.
Novo.
Favorite place to land is the military base.
Militop Power.
That'd be Georgia Pool.
I really like landing in Pochinki.
School.
My favorite place to land is military.
JP, 100%. He just doesn't drive for us.
Probably Chipsy, because he drives a lot and he's probably worse than Ninja.
Solid FPS, yeah.
Sweater.
Either myself or Chappie. I think Stat is definitely the guy that does the most flipping.
Drifter.
Drifter.
If I had a name, probably Drifter.
Joey.
It was definitely hotted. Absolutely hotted.
Forsen. Probably me.
So if one of our teammates flipped the car and got us all killed, there's no question who it was. It was Museau.
Museau.
Mitrain. Mitrain.
It's me. Probably Moleman. He's the worst driver I've ever seen.
Definitely Moleman.
If the car gets flipped, it's definitely me who's driving.
It's either Reckham, Prick, or Natural. One of them two.
Roshi7.
Me, probably.
If one of my teammates gonna flip the car, it will be Alf Place.
Onuktivs.
It was me.
Break.
This.
Probably me.
Jared FPS.
Lucy May.
Jared.
I mean, to be honest with you, we have to agree it will have been Jared FPS because he's not only flipped one on stream, but he's been run over as the poor bugger.
Yeah, he's had a really rough time. It's been awful. It's been like GTA in the worst way for him. You know what I mean? Like
I did
it's
feel
not
sorry
been
for
good.
him when we were watching. It just felt so bad to flip it and then even be the first death by just getting run over by a US. I mean, it's the worst place to. It's just the worst way to go.
Yeah.
Someone's beaming down. You're like, oh god, I accept the imminent death.
All right, looking at what you guys said at home as well, Vicstar's supporters have come out in masse. It's like every time you ask for this, it's like, Vicstar, it's just instant. It's a little loud, guys. TSM still getting some support. A couple of people told him to, you know, get going. You know, get in the battle a bit here, because you've got to want a little bit more from them. I know they still don't like third person in squads. It's pretty obvious. But, you know, they should be doing a little bit better, at least in my eyes. I want to see them really in the fight here, but that's just because it's exciting games, isn't it, really? I just want to see a lot of kills going in. So maybe I just need to become a fan of Ninja now, because this guy's actually able to deliver at the moment. So it does seem as though we're getting towards the game time to get underway. You can see the chairs being scooted in, everyone kind of like shuffling towards it. And again, Cloud9 there, getting caught in the rotate, being a little split up. Hopefully they can get themselves back into this. I want to see more decisive maneuvers again. That's something I'm looking at. I want to see people taking control of the situation, because in squads, actually something that was brought up when I was watching TSM practice leading up to this tournament is the fact that they don't have a designated in-game leader. And that's the same for a lot of other teams here. They don't have that kind of predefined IGL who will kind of tell them where to drop, tell them where to go, and just kind of take control of the situation. That's not necessarily, you don't necessarily need it all the time, but having a voice like that will always help in these environments to get the team to kind of, you know, follow a path and play to an objective.
Which is what you want. You want some sort of vocal direction. You don't just want to be wandering off. I mean, you get those games where one of your teammates just goes on a bit of a YOLO. I was like, okay, or he just goes AFK for a second, or he just can't really decide where he wants to be, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh god, we are now down a man because you have just wandered off on your own. And of course it will be 76 players. My math is absolute terrible. Last time, I'm getting myself worried about absolutely nothing.
That's why you just don't do it on air.
Yeah, there is that. Well,
why would you do it?
You see what happened yesterday? I'm panicking. I'm on panic station. Don't do me like that. PUBG
dear.
raffle going down, guys. ESL.gg/PUBG raffle. The snack is alive.
Snacky snack.
Do not step
Who's at the front
on
here?
snack.
Well, at least it's, I was about to say human centipede, but that'd make it a lot different, wouldn't it? Not so cute as Snacky Snack.
It'd be weird.
You can look at it, it's just a snake, all right? It's fine.
It's just a snake.
All right.
All is well. And it's a...
Are you trying to quell yourself?
Yes.
All is well, don't listen to Lauren.
All
She's
is
being
good.
weird again. Just move on.
She needs her coffee.
I do need something.
You had a latte delivered. Why can't I be this popular and famous?
Sorry, what did you call it?
A latte. What is it?
It sounded a lot like how you said car. Say car again.
Car. You don't know what life lies beyond the wall. Young Lauren, you have no idea the struggles we have.
All right.
In the wildlands. Anyway, get back on track. Enough about that.
Plane's on the way.
The plane is on the way. Where's she coming in from? She's coming in from the south. Straight smack bang over military. this could be a rough one. It could be a fun one as well. And there you go, on point every single time. LG out of the plane. Let's get boots on the ground, guys. 1, 2, 3. That's about 5 squads. I've seen pandas there.
Christ.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
Here we go.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Now, there's, I'd say, minimum 2, maybe 3 teams here. The smart play, at least in my eyes, would be going to Lipovka, would be going to the extremities, like Georgia Pol. But what do I know? So we have 1, 2, 3, could be 4 teams. They could also split off towards Novo. There's options here.
I think that's 3 together. The colours, I'm thinking 5.
There's 2 orange teams. There's
that's going to be 5 then.
Let's have a little look. Let's focus in on the military base. Everyone else is going to split, basically. That, you know, we're going to go for the longer plays. The players who drop down the main island are going to go for the more extremity plays, which are nice. Let's keep eyes on exactly what's happening on that island. Numinosity already boots on the ground. They're down very quickly. There's a lot of looting to be done here as well. There's a lot of the guard towers you can dip into that will give you that military loot. But we're going to see the split here. So we've got a couple of teams still. Wait, is Moondai with the other team? Or is it... No, I think he's okay. He's okay.
Yeah, he's with his team. So we've got one at towers, one over the apartments.
One industrial.
We've got one on the building
kind of
side.
Offices, yeah.
Offices, and then you got the back garage access as well. We got OG7 and Serenity. They're over on the factory.
Where's Sequisha? Oh, he's at ATC.
He's going to ATV and then back to the bunkers. But LG are on the back foot as well, so they'll be coming in. But I mean, with LG, it all kind of goes where the circle goes. You don't really want to be approaching military because you know you've got teams in there. They'll have seen them come down, and as you can see already, we're seeing level 2s, we're seeing level 3s. Hell, this is all what Millie is.
I actually like this area for looting, going through the garages. One, because people kind of still ignore it to a degree, and you can actually pick up guns very quickly. You can dip out the back. It's actually a very easy route because you get, what, level 3 vests, you get level 2 vests. You get enough to survive and generally take a fight. It's very rare that you can get that. Now we've got the Novo team on the side here as well. They're not actually in Novo yet. They're the aerial tower. Someone's giving out more than a USB here in the background. Hopefully you guys at home can't hear it as much as we do, because that is damn loud. Yeah, 2 USBs for 1. Sweet Jesus.
Anyway,
I want to gouge my ears out.
High radio tower, low radio tower. No one over at Novo. We got some guys over at Milta. And then all the way in Lipovka, we got a team there. We got Hayes out on his own. No Man's Land, which is a little bit weird, but Ollie's there with a vehicle as well. Panda Boys, they may have got some information that someone else is here. They're still looting. You've got Obang out by those 3 garages, kind of what you were saying earlier on, Lauren. There's always some really good gear there. UMP, SCAR, something or other. Always getting scopes. He's already got himself a level 2, level 3 back, level 1 helmet. We got a shotgun, an AKM. We'll go and try and have a look through some of these POVs.
Oh.
It's going to be
TSM.
TSM.
Okay, fair enough. I was like, why do I just hear a buggy in them? But there it is. It's TSM going on the...
Splitting up.
It's more so you can get another car that can have 4 players in it. AMPR is like, please break. Why are you leaving me like this? Break, come back for me.
Why you do this? It's so cruel. Look at her.
What?
You know, what is happening?
I don't understand why they switch.
That's
players.
a new strat on me, but
we'll
see what happens.
No,
So
it might be why. So Break last time played the blue, essentially. He basically just went on a full med mission, went out to Zaki, he plays way back in through the north side of George, but he's not alone doing this time. There's a lot of other players there. He could play wherever he wants to. Let's keep our eyes as well. Keep looking back towards that military aim. Your driving is spot on. That little just thud as he just... That rock's there,
Don't
careful,
run your
mate.
teammate over, please.
Yeah, nice little action slide in. It's all good. Yeah, it's fine.
Can he do it again?
No, he's gone for the safety this time.
So he's going to pick his teammates up, and they're going to go and try and pre-loot again, because it doesn't look they are very well geared whatsoever. You can see, as we look through the Observer, where exactly teams are laying all across. They're pretty well spread out, and now we'll see the Panda Boys. They're moving in on to Lost Aiming and the rest of his team. Ninja completely miles away from his teammates. Chips is down there as well.
Yeah,
we got Drassel. They've got a vehicle, I believe. I just said that, so that at least they can come back together. But again, look at the circle plans. They're really in no rush. You know, they can approach military at a later game.
They can also get boats. On
there
the
is that, yeah.
Novo side of things, they can happily get around towards a Milta base. But yeah, the Panda guys should eventually get into a fight with one of these. I'm surprised they haven't spotted each other out just yet, but everyone's staying very, very grouped here. No one wants to take risks.
He was standing still for a second. I was wondering if he actually has the information. He's got himself what looks like an ACOG on that M16. It's on single fire as well, so he could try and tap some of these players. You can see him. He keeps looking. Now Moo's just helping him out as well, so they do have the information. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them are now on the move here. Sakisha and his team are just getting the hell out of military. It's time to go. The big question is, will these guys
They should be spotted.
They have to. Tavello has to see this. He's behind the apartment.
And he opens his inventory up at a really awkward time. There might have been a chance he saw him get towards the fence.
It's whether or not he's going to go for this angle.
I'm pretty sure this clue's coming out, yeah.
Now he's copped for him, definitely.
Does he chase those? Spots them out now. Does he have a suppressor? No, he's just going to unleash fury with that 4 times. No connections found yet. Nowhere to back to. Back to the wall here. Needs to find a bit of cover so they can't just return fire. But he's going to commit very much out on his own here. They are running from this, though. They're not going to stick around for the fight. No armor on lost aiming there. So, again, probably the right choice.
He's looking just to make sure they have cleared off. But you know what? Moondye and Mayhop, they're staying for a second. They're going to try and ping some shots themselves. But I tell you what, the Panda Boys, they're going into a pre-looted building, so there isn't going to be a great deal for them to pick up as they work their way through apartments. Sakisha and the rest of the crew, they've got the hell out of there. The Crick could potentially be landing on the bridge. I don't actually know. It may have just hit the water. They would be lucky if it did. And now Panda, they're deciding, well, we're going to trade up some gear. We're going to throw things around. We're going to share some stims, share some meds. And why the hell not? They've got plenty of time. The circle's on Military Island down on Sosnovka. And meanwhile, we'll just see the guys, Moondye and his boys, just wandering away.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we didn't actually see an early fight between any of them. They caught a glimpse of each other, but somehow 3 to 4 squads landing a military just kind of went, we'll stick to our own areas, you stay to yours, and we'll have a nice time. But again, still no armor on these guys.
I am kind of glad they didn't, though, because look at what he's got. SKS, 8 times scopes.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I agree with you, Lauren. There is no vest on there, but he does have the level 2 helmet, so if he's got the lean factor and he knows how to abuse it, he might be able to peak a little bit. But we do actually have a listening with these guys. Let's have a listen to what they got to say.
Hab ich schon. Ich hab noch einen Energy Drink zum Abgeben. Denk dran, wenn Weste, ich nimm noch eine. Ich brauche auch noch eine Weste. Ich habe noch ein Holo gefunden, falls jemand noch ein Holo braucht.
My German's pretty rusty. Pretty sure they were like, oh yeah, das ist super geil. You know, that was pretty much it.
I did German in school, so I unfortunately cannot translate. But if anything, we know that they know where a team is, and they know that they're going to be worried because they're becoming. Oh, Hoyt's down though. Hello, Hoyt. What happened to you?
It's a meme these days that Hoyt is just generally dead.
I feel sorry for the guy.
Ollie's just found him. He's like, all right, here's my first bit of prey.
Hi,
nice. He's going to be moving into this one. Probably going to see if he can bait out the rest of the team, unless Holly was just on his own.
I do like the fact that he's not just going to finish off this kill. He's using it as bait to get information where the rest of them are hiding.
Yeah.
He's leaving him alone. Hoyd's like, please don't kill me, Ollie. I don't want to be the first one dead for the second, maybe even third time. I don't. Oh, it looks like Hoyd's teammates are turning up behind him.
Yeah, he's gone here. See you later, Hoyt. So that's the first kill down.
In fact, that's a different squad altogether.
So yeah, what was Hoyt up to?
What was Hoyt up to and what was Ollie up to? That's my question. Both of them are on no man's land. Chipsy has got himself a bike, so he's going to be moving towards his teammates now. It looks like they have a vehicle on the opposing side. Meanwhile, Yumru, he's going to be hearing some of these shots going off, so he's trying to get some information from this window. It looks like it's one of those buildings just at the top of the stairs, so you can peek and poke, because you do have, if I'm right, it's a garage, so you can back off into and then get the hell out if needed. Or I could be talking rubbish, it might not be that building whatsoever, but it looks like it with the boxes in the corner. Does he have the information that he needs, though? Oh, welcome to the party, though, friends. We'll just see Interroga opening up on them with the AKM. One of them will advance forward. He's going to get annihilated.
Single fire as well. So nicely done.
Tapping away on the burst. He goes down, looking to try and bag another one of his teammates. They're just wiping them out. Noble, they found the party, and they're just laying down hellfire. Interrogate's tagged up, but that doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3. Make it 4. See you later. Unfortunately, Stylish Noob and the rest of his players, they are gone. Noble just absolutely did the dirty on them.
Well, I'm just impressed with that single fire. You know, he went from the full auto spray, switched onto the M16, and then just absolutely tapped them down. That was so nicely done. The spam was absolutely perfect. This is Cloud9 playing on the south side of the coast, it seems. They do have a car with them as well. They could loot their way through this. Plenty of opportunity, but really maybe got themselves a bit of a scuffle here at some point, or taking a bit of damage there. Sweater maybe not feeling so good at this point. Yeah, there's players on the coastline. That's why they're going to get themselves sorted out in this house. Keep tabs. Watching up and over. I'm not sure it's Moondye and the guys on the other side.
That's going to be detonated. The first team to fall here in game number 2. As you mentioned, C9 that is setting up. And as Whitey Dude comes across the horizon, it might not be the best for his life. He's walking up, though. We'll see how this one pans out. See if anyone's going to be chilling, waiting for him. He approaches. Checking, keeps spinning around. He's laid down. I think we're actually going to get C9's team comp. So we'll hop on board with C9, and we'll see how this one all breaks down.
Right here. Yeah, so I see. Yeah. Whole team.
Okay. Left half wall. We're rotating left. You're gonna play the back half wall here.
fall north. Don't let them rotate around on us. Solid. If that happens, me and you are dead.
He's inside building. Inside building.
Might be on your half ult. I can't really help you too much.
Yeah, I know. Yup, he's inside the house.
They're now around back.
Dude, I'm fucked.
Rock's tagged. Rock's tagged.
Okay.
I'm fucked.
I just got naded. I'm down.
One's on your half ult.
Locked. Yo.
Good. Reloading. Good job. Borg, ready to bait me?
Yeah, he's here.
Pushing
two guys on me.
I got a Sega. Pushing now. Bait. Knocked another.
Last one's rock.
Where's rock?
Somebody should get me.
Yeah, I'm coming. I go Chappy.
I have no HP.
Okay. No, Sweater should get him. Borg, stay with me. Okay.
Rotating in.
The rock, right?
I mean, he could rotate half wall at this point. Don't push out too far.
Yeah, of course.
Hold your angles.
We gotta BM the guy who's knocked.
Good.
He's inside the house. The guy is knocked.
Yeah, I just got a kill. Good shit. 30 seconds, store and heal.
I'm on their half wall now.
I got a kill.
Good shit, boys. I think.
And there you have it, an absolute team wipe coming out of C9. Lauren, just break me down that a little bit more, because the execution, you could hear Sweater being the IGL there. Time to bait, it's time to go. Working as a unit, it was just annihilation.
Yeah, Chappie's pretty vocal in that too. Actually, the way he was kind of calling the rotates as well and the possibilities. I like the way that they did it of basically having line of sight on certain areas and then kind of knowing where they knocked out one, allowing players to always have each other's covered and their push being held. Because one of the players, I can't remember who it was pushed up so close to that broken wall in front of him. Might have been Solid FPS or Borg. I think it was Solid FPS. And essentially he had 2 to 3 players run in front of him. But you had Sweater on the back lines, everyone else on the back lines, able to watch that push up. And they just categorically worked it out. It was a very smart way of playing here.
I like it how Borg stand his ground though. You would look at him, and sometimes a player, if you saw 2 people running in front of you, you'd be like, oh crap, I'm gonna get a bit scared and a bit windy. Sometimes you poke out a bit too early, sometimes you try and run away, which can kind of screw you in the long run. But the man held his ground. He knew he had Sweater beside him. You heard him say, look, I've got a shotgun, it's time to move. But enough about that one. That fight's been and done. We're moving on here. We're looking at WTC. He sees the Dacia just driving on by. His teammate's going to take some pop shots, which will force them away. They know this compound is now taken. But he's pre-scoping. Here's the US. Hello, boys.
Suppressed as well, full auto. Yeah, going to switch onto the single fire, take his time on these shots. Good approach. Gets a tag, I'm pretty sure there, but the car does make it away. He pulls up. They can try and make it on foot here, get some cover, try and find their way through the trees. And on the other side, it's Alf and the boys just locking this one down. Going to be able to spot a couple of players out. But now, actually, the problem is for the other team, they're caught in a bit of a pinch. 2 of the players managed to make it to the other side, and 2 are up on this hill. So actually, this could be a problem. Unless they fight their way out and beat one of the 2 sides here, they could be really pinched in between.
Meanwhile, we'll see Cross falling. That's going to be Daz from Noble. Takes him out with a Scar-L. Cross, unfortunately, is eliminated from the server. We're going to see another one as well. He's blown up the vehicle. That 3 now. The Noble boys, they're on point this time round. Racking up some very, very early kills. Stack goes down. One shot girl goes down also. And yet again, Noble with the high ground. They are just laying down fire. Every time a team just comes below them, they are kicking ass.
Well, they like this ridge play. They played this last round as well. Now, last time the circle was pretty harsh because it kind of forced everyone through their sort of their vision, which you almost want in a way. You want those fights, but also you don't want to be having like 3 to 4 squads fighting you out. So you can see here, WTCN is in a bit of a predicament. His teammates are being picked off. This is what I mean by the split. The other team were able to get into 2 different spots, and now they can close in and really cause a couple of problems for these guys. But we know that these guys are skilled. That's the thing. They've got great individual skill, good aim. We just need to see them fight one of these 2 sides.
Zion is still down from the headshot coming in. You can hear as well above, the plane will be dropping. Be interesting to see if Weeback just down in the corner does notice that there is a crate in the water. He's clearly got a boat and he's driving on through, whether he's actually still in the water or whether it's actually on top of the bridge. Crate comes down, it's going to land in the hand of Liquid. Should they, in fact, Liquid, they have 2 crates side by side. I mean, still, we are early days. There's not a big amount of people up that neck of woods. It's an option to go and grab them, but look at that. Here's an ollie. They've got 1 to the left and 1 to the right. That could be a golden opportunity to take and really put a stamp on themselves in the middle of the circle.
Now, where is Luminosity right now? Are they still in this? Because I don't see them anywhere.
Gypsy's just
So
coming in.
Gypsy's
They're
moving
going
in. They're going towards TSM.
Yeah.
This could be a problem. This is going to be a big fight. If they want to take these buildings, you know that TSM will give them a good battle on this. There's a lot of players reset up here. Force and the guys aren't far off. TSM, are they in buildings though? It looks like they are still on the bottom floor, quite possibly. Not sure if they're playing the broken wall, which is just as powerful they are. Not going to take the engagement with a couple of shots here and there. But Luminosity are moving into an area that will be rife with players. I'm curious as to where they go to find a bit of cover, because clearly they want to get themselves situated now within this circle. They've already marked up a house, or maybe just an area they want to play off of, and that's completely fine. But they've got a lot of eyes on them. Yeah, going to get out of the vehicle here. So they've got TSM there, you've got Forzen, you've got Andy not far off. And their building's not brilliant, but they can just lock this down. I wonder how good their loot is. I see a suppressor, I think, on an M16 there on JP. They've got good enough loot, but last time we saw them with AWMs, we saw them, geared up to the 9s. And we're still seeing that late circle play. Break's going to not leave this area. Liquid's doing the long play as well. This is fine until maybe the next circle, and it does really chunk you down if you don't have good meds. But at the end of the day, TSM needs to start being aware of this. You can see everyone kind of putting themselves in the buildings here along the main roads.
I like how Liquid have split off, though. We've got 2 here in center circle. We've got 2, 1 over at Hospital, then 1 on South Georgia Pole. Excuse me. It was right, South Georgia Pole. We've got 2 players there, so they have indeed split up. WTCN, though, they're going to try and tag up this UAZ as it wanders by, and they just stick it between 2. I mean, that could be good driving, it could be bad driving, whether or not they put it there for cover, or they did accidentally just hit it. But now they're going to bail, but they've copped it. They know what's going on. That's going to be NPR trying to run for his life. Still trying to get the information, peeking around, sees him, use the 3-peek, will hide behind the trees. Will he take any more? No, he's going to have a look, but he's getting shot from 2 different angles. You can see the blood just spraying. So he's kind of between a rock and a hard place here, because he's got both players watching this, the both same team, on 2 different angles, so he needs to be extremely careful.
Yeah, but these guys are good at this area. NBR is dodging and weaving as best he can. He does make it away for now. But we know that these guys like to play this area. They normally start off towards the apartments and then kind of filter around and take fights. They're quite aggressive. NPR just about makes away with his life.
How are you alive?
Clearly got caught by one of the 2. We didn't see the shots actually land too clearly through the foliage, but it does seem as though he will be able to get away for now. Maybe heal up, find a new avenue of approach, because he is really in a predicament here. The Southside battle's probably not going to come off just yet. It's mostly the kind of 4 to 5 teams that are all around this one central area. That next circle is going to change the fate of a lot of these players now.
Can we take a moment to appreciate how split up TSM are? We've got Break still here, North George. We've got TSM, we've got NPR on his own in no man's land, but he's still in the circle. That has fallen quite lucky for him. And then he's got his teammates who are almost dead center, just to the right-hand side, below Pachinki. We've got a new crate coming in. That's going to be a Groza. Plenty of ammo, 8x scope as well. I mean, the distance on that thing is disgusting as it is. Why not make it even better? Noble again, though. Looking at the kill feed, they didn't quite catch it, but it looks like Noble are having the game of their life so far. Plenty of kills, plenty of points going on their way. Every team they eliminate it, they'll jump another place in that leaderboard.
They're still in the circle. They're again going to be the gatekeepers this time. Liquid out towards the northeast. You've got Xeon on the guys towards the north. Unroot's working his way in, so this is going to be big for them. If they can divide their attention in the right places at the right time, they're going to come up with so many kills, and they don't need to back anywhere. If anything, once that blue moves in, they'll have safety towards that kind of northeast side, so they can then start sweeping through and worry about the rest while maintaining high ground. So far, this is very, very good positioning for them.
2 cars as well, but they're just laying him down, so they can either just bail out of this one should they need to, or just use them for cover. They can dive up behind, still got that bridge, which is fair play to them. All of C9 is still alive as well. We saw the early engagement before with the team that they managed to take down. But if C9 is still
another challenger.
I don't believe it. They're still locking down this building. Another challenger does indeed approach. Here comes the initial tag. You hear the pan come in, but he will go down.
Shot.
The pan will only save you once, my friend. You don't get a second time. 2 players will fall. Make that 3. He's going to be a death as well, so they lose 1. Solid F takes a bullet just in return. But I tell you what, they've caused all sorts of problems with this roster over here. 1 falls down. 2 of them are also down, I believe. In fact, no, one of them just died. This is problematic.
Chappie's chomping at the bit. He wants to just go and get those kills done. You can tell it. Now, I love the way they're playing. You can see how good they are at this sort of position. They clearly have the line of sight worked out. They have exact approaches, and they know how they want to play. And you're seeing that kind of individual ability coming through as well. So that's pretty impressive for them. Tobias now is on the medic mission. Lay down the wall of smoke. Pray he can get there, but this is the killing squad now. Cloud9 turning it into the killing fields. There's no escape for these guys, really. They've got to run away and hope that no one else is there. Maybe find a new way into the circle. circle because that approach is locked off. And I'm pretty sure this squad can hear all these shots going on. That's not too far away. Again, just holding on for dear life, try and find a bit of cover, but it looks like Nick has maybe spotted one of these guys out. Yeah, he has full vision as well. This is suppressed. That's nice control. Oshi7 completely unawares, doesn't know where those shots are coming from. And now I wonder if Nick can back away again. It's just smart enough. He's only got one teammate left here. Again, peeks back in, spots out another. Good vision, not overexposing himself either. Good control.
He's got to be careful though, because he's awoken the bear. They're giving away position. In fact, I was about to say about Sakisha. Sakisha's gone down. Now, he was going to be the issue because he had the Car 98 with the 8 times on. Oshi7, he's dead, unfortunately. Sakisha's down as well. C9 have turned a pinhead, and all of a sudden it's 6 players looking at this roster. They're in all kinds of trouble. That's going to be... What a cracking shot. Leans it as well. She goes down also. Serenity, unfortunately, will slowly be tapped away with the SKS. She now will fall, and Julia... Well, she's left all standing. There's nothing else she can do. Sakisha's just going to be left to bleed out there.
Level 1 helmet, level 1 vest, a little undergeared for these sort of battles, needs to back away, just find a bit of cover for a bit. And we're going to see more fights coming in. This is Gassy Mexican squad here with Curvy Llama, eyes down towards those banana houses, still towards that south side coast. So again, they might be spotting out the Cloud9 guys. They've got good scopes, good range, and suppressed weaponry. This could be interesting. Mythrain has managed to find that AMPR player. It was TSM's player who was very much on the run, trying to get away from them, but they hunted him down, not going to let him escape.
And you can hear here, look at the walls. They're just absolutely drilled with bullets. There's something big's gone down here. We'll see now as people do move in. Liquid have decided, okay, it's time to move finally away from Gaka. They've both got vehicles. You can see the health ticking, but they both stopped. So they're going to be healing up in those vehicles. Watch the life bar at the bottom. It should shoot up any second. Meanwhile, Mythrain, but they're just going to chill here. Bofors, they'll just get ready for it. Solid FPS does find Sakisha on the floor. He cleans up that one, but they're looking for that last player, which is going to be Julia. But again, you mentioned about Gassy Mexican. They have just turned up to the fight. They need to be watching the back because that could cause them problems in the long game.
Yeah, and that circle's moved out towards the western side. That will favor the teams who are already set up in this area just slightly. So there's going to be a lot of people traversing through this one, and Drifter is trying to just...
They're just trying to nade him out here.
What's going on.
Poor man, poor man. Leaning on the corner, hiding inside the bathroom, hoping someone just checks that room. Probably going to have a shotgun to hand as well.
Look at Noble, straight away getting their cars, want to be quick on this, don't want to give time to get caught, but they might be spread out by Unru and the boys. Evermore's squad, yeah, this could be some fire coming. It looks like they're going to stop. This could be a battle going down on the plateau towards the top of the ridge. Everyone's going to hear this one going through unless they're all suppressed up to the teeth. So hopefully we can jump on that and see if that fight actually does begin. 56 players now left standing. This is a great position for Forz and Andy and the guys. They're in a very nice spot, and actually it looks like Evermore has got the height advantage. He will be able to spot these guys out. Noble can disappear in towards the kind of, I guess, foliage and use that as cover, but it's still very flimsy. And at the moment, TSM are in safety. A couple of baited shots out there basically for TSM. They're just trying to keep people aware of their position, scared to challenge.
If anything as well, doing this noise allows his teammates below him to try and move around and kind of cover the footsteps if they are trying to make something happen. It's kind of the same principle when you're using the smoke grenade. You can get a bit of a shot off.
Spotted them out. This is probably the Noble side, unless there's someone else moving in. And no, it will be Noble. That is some beautiful shooting from Unru. These guys are so crisp on these shots. 8 times comes out, tapping away with that M16, trying to find some more connections. And Noble are just on the run. They don't want this fight. They want to find any other fight possible. They finally got a bit of cover. They can look up the hill and wait to see who's about to just crush down that hill towards them.
And this time, they are on the opposite end of what they've been dishing in this match. They are on the opposite end. They are downhill. They've got to look uphill as people just come flooding down. 4 intro. They smell blood. They want these final kills. They've already down 1. They're not going to try and let this guy hiding behind the rock revive them. Noble still trying to get away. Tap, tap, tap. Knocks out.
Christ, that was a
What a belting shot. Evermore falls. Cracking spray control there. So now we'll at least see them answer back. They have lost one, unfortunately, Pansy.
The big point is that the other team has the circle. They have the circle in their favor, so they have to move down this hill. And now you've got Anger, Lex, Adren all going to crest over as well. At the moment, Noble, sure, they're under pressure, but they at least have the positioning that will favor them. They can hold this line. There's no safety for these guys moving in. Dingo's car just in a car, just going to plow through. Boom's gone down. Daz is still up, and they're going to have to watch this like a hawk. And there's a horrible feeling. Your heart starts beating when you're hearing these shots in front of you, and you know you have to run this way. They've got to go straight over, so there'll still be eyes towards this. There's at least 2 teams in front, and they're going to change direction, head more southwest, try and play to another side, try and find some more cover on the way down. Oh, the spray! Mythrain going to have to try and make this one count, but there's fire coming in from everywhere. This is going to be a very messy fight.
Does knock out 2, though. I'm just trying to look at that kill feed at the moment. Everything's popping off. We're down to 45. Several people kind of going off here in the middle. Adren's going to try and get Lex up, but unfortunately it's not enough. Flom does come in, though. He will fall. WTCN doing the drilling with that UMP there. as he looks across to all his teammates, Pansy. They're all just dying around him. He needs to make something happen because they could potentially just walk in and wipe him out. Dingus-Khan now is the last alive for his team. 4 entry. They've only got 1 man.
Shots coming in, though.
Oh, that hurt. That's going to hurt him again. 1 hit P. See you later. He's gone. Noble then.
They recover.
They didn't have the advantage. They did not have the height. 4 intro came pushing down upon them. They accepted the challenge. They only lose 1. They still stay alive.
And it's mostly because they had the circle. That was the big point here. They were actually playing the edge of it, so they had the safety. Everyone else is moving down towards them. They get set up on the cover, but they lost out on so many players, but they got them back up. Now let's look at Break here. He is playing this one like an absolute ninja. Look at him. Where's that full spray down? Break, show me what you made of. But Panda's just off to the right. Oh, this could be a disaster. Break is down. Panda having 2 players splitting off towards him. 117 there, getting the drop. A disappointing end for him, I can imagine. But Panda now have a bit of freedom to work with.
Yep, 2 people fall on Panda, but they've still got plenty of time to revive them. Opts for the looting phase. We'll see JP2 in fact have just fallen. Actually, we've got a bit of an action going down on here as we look across to Luminosity. I believe
LG needs to stay alive here.
Yeah, they do, because this is them at the top of the board. This is their scoreline. They're into the top 30. Ollie does get knocked out, and that's going to be outside the play zones. Unless his teammate's there to help him out, that could be a dangerous one. LG has split up. We got Smack and Vis in the opposing building. They've got the height advantage, and they need to go to them. Look at where they are, perpendicular to the circle.
This is the thing. Luminosity have to get past them or try and evade them in some way, shape, or form, as TSM essentially have the only piece of cover left into that next circle coming up. Luminosity need a top 10 finish to keep themselves very well in that running. If they do that, then they're game on. This could be a big fight. Ninja, are you fancying this? This is a big play from him. If he wants to go in there, you better be just... You've got to be a god tier player to get away with this one, Ninja. He's decently geared, level 3 helmet, level 2 vest. Decent AK as well, full auto ready. He's trying to spot these guys out. I'm wondering if he can get through the window with a bit of a crouch jump. Smack and Vis playing this very naughtily. I think there's a helmet missing on Vis there, quite possibly as well, which could be an issue down the line. But Luminosity are going to take this building by storm or by force because they need to.
Absolutely. They need to get by them. TSM are kind of blocking it down, but the problem is it's that uphill behind this building in particular. As soon as they go up, you've got the balcony, what TSM are based on. It's going to be an absolute firing line. Meanwhile, on the opposing side, Hayes knocks out Panda. We just saw Ollie go down in the kill feed a little bit earlier on. 28 players remaining. Borg, tap, tap, tap away. He doesn't quite fall yet, but he is going to do so much damage. We'll lay down and look at all these players. There's blood all over the place. Borg has fallen. Sweater's already tanked up. And at the moment, Panda, they're outside the play zone. They're gone. 1-2 players dead.
All those shots coming out from Cloud9 did enough damage to them to make them knock out of the play zone. So that's good enough from them. Liquid, I think, is still alive in the similar area down towards the northwest, north side. So that could be the next fight coming out for Cloud9. For now, though, they just want to get back into business. Luminosity are going to start making some noise, but TSM are just going to hold the balcony.
Do you know what's most scary? They are in the TSM literally have control of the only building inside the circle. So Luminosity need to take these guys out if they want to control this building and look uphill. Idaculus knocks out Dahaji back with a can anti as well. Down goes one. They will attempt to get them back up. But this is going to get messy really quickly because at the top of the crack of this hill here, you can look up from the balcony where TSM are. They'll be able to see people just flooding down upon them.
Yep. Now this is big though. Good positioning from Andy and Forsen. They've got to be careful of Noble's push now. Hopefully they haven't just moved from that area, so in the back of their minds they feel that they're completely safe. But Boom as well. Great positioning from Boom, but a brilliant adjustment from Andy. Turns around, gets him down. Boom had the drop on all 3 of them as the other part of his squad were moving in from the other side. Now the rest of Noble are going to have to try and pick up the pieces, but it might be a little bit too late here. They might have just to leave him to die as there's only really 1 man up, and that's Idaculus. I don't think he can really get to his teammates, but again, Sweater watching the cross so well, and that is Liquid trying to make their way in, but they get caught in the crossfire. Again, Cloud9 punishing the rotate so well, hyper aware of how to play this one out, and now we're down to the top 20.
Chappie just smashing bodies all over the place. You can see the kill feed annihilating now. Cloud9 have turned up and they are here to play. One more player is going to be Musil, dies outside the play zone. Meanwhile, we just see Cake tap, 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 trying to get some blood here, but unfortunately, it's going to be one player who comes in, takes him down as well. Chappie now has fallen, so that's going to be the end of his run possibly. We're into the top 16. Andy Pyro once again doing the dirty on Noble. That could potentially be the last player for them down. And now we see him moving forward, but he's still TSM. They're in the driving seat in this building. They can just keep surviving. But Luminosity are bearing down upon them. They're right behind. Another player gets tanked up here. We see Mumino to his left-hand side. He's going to try and get into cover. He can't go around the back of this tree. He can't even needs to get away, but there's no real cover. If somebody comes from his right-hand side, he is going to get annihilated, but he's got kicked there for the defense.
Right, down to 15.
Ninja got him. Ninja got him.
did manage to nade out Smack. Vis is still alive, and they can't actually kill him flat out unless they get another nade up there. And that's going to be the last thing. If anything, you could see TSM just doing the dirty and making it almost impossible for Luminosity, but here comes the push. That is big from Ninja. Oh, no! It goes terribly wrong for him. He goes down. This could be a huge problem. He went on his own. The rest of his team aren't there. Smack's going to die no matter what, but still, oh my word, that could be such a loss, but the rest of Luminosity can still do this. Ninja was a hard carry in the last game, but the rest of his team now needs to step up to the plate. They're in a good position still. Vis could just be their downfall. Does he play to get himself in a good spot or deny them a better position?
Which team's got the bigger cojones, though? Because this could get really dangerous. They all have to move forward. They all have to go up to that circle. This is going to come down to really who can hold their nerve, who can stand their ground, because he's got a level 3 helmet, he's got a shotgun. If he gets up close and personal, it's going to go bye-bye LG, so they need to play this very, very calculated. And look at that circle. It's going to drive them all up to the top of the hill. Drassel knocked out Forzen, so that's at least going to help them in the long run. There's going to be 2 go down. Andy Pyro still alive and taking names. 2 of his players have fallen. He's going to be the last player. Unless I don't think we're not in a position to get them up, so he will be the last person. JP2's gone down. Chipsy's gone down as well. Drassel, last man standing here. He needs to be so careful.
Oh, there's players everywhere. They're getting tagged up, though. He doesn't want these fights. He doesn't want to get involved. Kate does take down JP finally, and you're going to see Drassel holding on for dear life. He needs to get into this circle. He needs to get in. Oh, he does go down in the end, and what a great bit of play from Cake and the boys. Kind of under the radar throughout that game, but in the end circles, they delivered and then some.
I'll tell you what, this leaderboard is super tight. I have no idea now who's going to potentially be in the lead because of the kill factor as well that you inject into this system. But my word, both teams playing their hat out. Ninja, unfortunately, just falling from a brilliant placement from one of the players on TSM, knocking him out through the window, accepting that challenge, him letting him get up the stairs, then whipping out the shotgun to take him down, really put the pressure on LG.
But LG did stay alive quite late. That's the thing. They did finish still pretty high up in that one. Drassel was still alive within, I'd say, the top 2, top 3. Yeah, so they finished top 2. They're still pretty well set here, Luminosity, getting decent kills, doing well on position. Liquid have now gone up the rankings as well. You've got Forzen and the guys starting to get some work done. TSM have been very passive in this, but they're still around. Noble had a big swing up, and Cloud9 here, so a big performance increase from those guys.
This is close. This is fun. This is kind of what we wanted to see. Teams going at it, teams pushing one another, and this scoreboard being so tight. We'll get an updated one very, very soon to show you guys at home exactly where the standings lead us. But I tell you what, you've got to give it to Chipsy at the end. They should be. But I tell you what, you've got to give it to him. I mean, there was nowhere to go, right? He just had several people bearing down him. He did the best he could, but to at least take another player out, which I think may have been from another team.
That would be huge.
It may have jumped him another placement.
Exactly, that's all it is. You get to the point where you just want to screw over other people. But yeah, with a new team winning coming into this, it's going to keep everyone at the top still pretty well spread out. If you'd see, I still genuinely think Luminosity will be very much up ahead now. They should be the ones to watch, and you'll need another team who's finished within the 2 to 3rd spot to finish first to challenge them. So again, they should be looking like the ones to be beaten here, or the ones to win this. But with a new contender coming in, winning that first place with a good couple of kills, it does mean this keeps things very much up in the air.
Tier 3 gaming. Now, we've seen quite a few things from these guys across the last 3 days. Cake specifically, the work that he did with the M24 when we were actually watching some of those shots, spinning around in a pinhead, just putting bullets between brains, and when it's all said and done,
Christ,
it's
look how
literally
close this is.
4 points separate Tier 3 gaming and Luminosity.
Even the kill points are very close. The win points, of course, are very much there. Forzen and the guys very close to be able to pick this one up. A win, if a clean win comes in for Liquid and a bad performance from 1 and 2 happens, they can shoot up. Same for TSM, same for Cloud9. There is still many opportunities here.
Get this. Chipsy managed to bag another kill just before he went down. He's got 4 points from 1 kill. That final kill has actually put them at the top.
That's impressive.
That is insane. Taking a body before you fall.
Makes all the difference.
Word.
Well, this is how close this is going to be. At the end of the day, the next game is going to define everything, of course. That top could change completely. If someone new comes in, anyone really within this kind of top 10, if they get a clean win, lots of kills, and the top players don't, then it could all change. We'll find out after this, but we do have an interview, guys, lined up with the winner of the last game. So, Cam, how's that feeling down on the floor there? I can imagine the atmosphere is getting pretty tense.
I'm here with Onuktiv and Mumino from Tier 3 Gaming. Congratulations on winning the second time. And actually, Mumino, it's your second win here throughout the whole week. No, I lied. I talked to you otherwise. Never mind. My mistake. I'm sorry. But you did win this one, and you actually got second place last map as well. That means you and LG are very, very close at the top. Does that make you nervous at all, thinking that just because you're so tight with them, that if you make one mistake, if they get just one leg in front of you, that it's all going to collapse?
No, we are very confident. We don't really nervous. We have very talented captain. We believe in him. He told us what to do, and we do, and we win. There is no nervous at all for us.
Not nervous at all?
Not nervous at all. Not nervous at all.
All right. How do you expect this next game to come? Game number 3. Did game number 1 and 2 play around the same amount? Do you expect 3 to be too much different, or are you just going to stick in, play your own game that you've played these first 2, and just take home the gold?
I think that we will play our third game like we played before. And hopefully the circle will not be on Sosnovka, because it will completely ruin our plans.
Okay.
But I think in his mind, he has strategy for Sosnovka Island 2. So we don't really care what's going to happen. We're just going to play our game and win.
All right.
Really confident.
Were you expecting squads to be your most successful format?
Yes, we was practicing squads the most time. So squads we the best than those.
What will you do if you do actually end up taking home the gold today? Do you have any plans?
I don't know. I will say thanks to everybody. We'll pay for a restaurant. I don't know. It's impossible to predict what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something really strange.
I want to say thanks to my organization, my friends, my team Avantgarde. Very, very big thanks. It's my team who believe me and give me a chance to visit the Cologne.
Well, all right. I do apologize. I do feel like I may have brought your minds a little too far ahead, because you do still have to win the third game, or at least place well enough to take home the gold. So you're not done just yet. I'm going to let you guys go and prepare for that, because we're going to go to one more final break before the final games here at Gamescom on Squad's third person.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the madness and the mayhem that is, of course, the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Invitational. And we are going to game number 3. 1 and 2 are out of the way, and that scoreboard is locked. There is one kill between Tier 3 Gaming and Luminosity. And someone's enjoying the football. I mean, credit where credit's due. Why not? Just might as well have a bit of a chiller. Just been scouring through Reddit, Pansy. A lot of talk on...
Christ, you're a brave man.
Yes. They've been a rather good bunch over there. I do read quite a lot, and they're a rather good bunch. A lot of discussion about Break's tactic, kind of guaranteeing TSM top 4 most of the time, giving him the level 3 backpack, stimming him and
with all meds.
healthing him out of his mind.
It gets them to this point, but it doesn't give you a win. They're out of the prize money at the moment. It's cheesy, but we've already seen it. At the end of the day, if most people were given the opportunity to walk away with that much money, they'd probably do the same thing. Whether you like it or not, you play the rule set that's there, right? And I don't like it personally. I prefer seeing Ninja going off with an AWM. I prefer seeing Break going in with a spray. No one can say that Break is not skilled, though. That's one thing I'll say for him, at least, that if he was there with a rifle, you know he's going to do work.
Yep.
It's just a choice that he's made to play that way. However, they can't do it this time, really. It'd be a very big risk for them to do it this time. You kind of need everyone together. You kind of need to be taking fights. You need to be up on that scoreboard. You need the win. You can't just deal with, you know, top 4s, top 3s. They need a victory out of this. They also need other things to go wrong for other players. At the moment, that top 2 is looking decisive. It's looking quite well set. There's still room for Liquid to do well in this. There's still room for other teams to get into that top 3, top 4. However, Luminosity are in a fantastic position as they sit. They're looking good. They're playing the game that you like to see. I'm happy with that. But again, you know, as said, this is the last chance that people get involved. So do make sure you use that hashtag Battlegrounds. Tell us who you're supporting into this final game, as it does seem as though everything's coming to that peak now.
It is indeed. But before we dive into this, let's throw it on down to Cameron, who's on the floor. He's in the pit for yet another interview.
I am joined by Tavello from Kung Fu Panda, all the way from China. I'm going to ask a couple more questions. I want to get into, I guess, what it's like being part of the Chinese scene. Are there a lot of players in China that play this game? Yes. All right. Good enough. That's my fault. Bad question. So your team in particular has turned a lot of heads. You and the rest of your team have had some really good moments, but you have yet to really claim a top spot on the scoreboard or even medal in this event. Is that disappointing for you, or were you kind of expecting to be in the middle of the scoreboard more or less during this weekend?
第一次来打这个比赛，然后这个成绩还可以吧，但是作为比赛的话，我们还是想拿到更好的、更高的成绩。
So he thinks that their rankings are right now fine with them, but since it's his first time they came to here and to play this game and to overcome the high pings and everything is new. So, but they're expecting they'll have a better performance next round.
What you said high ping. Is high ping an issue playing back home?
所以在国内玩吃鸡的话，那个高延迟是不是很严重？
对，非常严重，因为我们国内就是没有服务器，然后就是用了国外的服务器，然后延迟确实是一个很大的影响，然后到这次比赛来也会不适应，就是要重新适应一个游戏环境吧。
So he's saying that we are using a foreign server to play the game, so we'll have a high ping, and we need to have like the internet speed accelerators to play the game. So they need to get used to the ping here.
Well, then in that case, I feel like you guys are performing very well within those standards. I'm not going to keep you any longer because I know you're gearing up to get into the final game, and I know a lot of our audience is as well because we have one more game left to go. Sims and Pansy take it away for game number 3.
Yes, indeed. All eyes on the prize now. Luminosity, Tier 3 Gaming, both sitting there only separated by 4 points, meaning 1 kill. But Liquid now making their way up the rankings. TSM just being edged out of the money everything still on the line. Everything's still left to play for. And as we saw yesterday, Luminosity, they were kind of in the same position, Pansy. They went from like 3rd to 33rd or something ridiculous in the space of one game.
It can happen. That would be absolutely devastating for them. And I'd feel for them, if I'm honest, being kind of toyed with that twice. That would be horrific. But they played out of their skin here. I've got to be honest. Why is that shouting?
I don't know who that is.
Gamescom, man, honestly.
More USBs.
I'd rip someone's mic away from them and just put it somewhere else. It's one of those. But anyway, just to get you guys on the same page, what they are fighting for right now, first gets 80 grand. Second, 60, third, 30, and fourth, 10. Split between the players, of course. However, that's what's on the line here. Every single shot counts, every kill counts, every step in the right direction will make it seem more and more possible.
Just really quickly, I want to give you guys some names to watch out for. JP2, Ninja, Chipsy, Drassel, that's Luminosity Gaming. And the opposing side of Tier 3 game, we've got Anuk, Alfplace, Cake, and Mumino. Look for any of those two teams to be dropping early, because if they drop down early, unfortunately, and get killed and eliminated from the server,
things get scary for it.
The whole thing just becomes a massive, massive issue, and we'll no idea where we're going to be standing, but we are on to the server. The players are in. We'll be kicking this one up in around 55 seconds. But in the meantime, make sure you guys tweet the stream. Use the hashtag Battlegrounds. Come on. I want to see some big numbers in Twitch, Facebook, Mixer, wherever you're watching out there, YouTube Gaming. Tweet the stream, use that hashtag, and get involved on social media. Also, ESL.gg/PUBG raffle. We got crates to give away. We got i7s. We got NVIDIA 1080s. There are lots of prizes to be won. Make sure you are in it to win it. And of course, if you are going to tweet the stream, also tweet us on the caster desk. Who do you think will win? Use that hashtag Battlegrounds. Which players are you looking out for to go huge? Which teams do you think will be the victors after this is all said and done? Pansy does have Twitter open, so we'll be checking those in the next few minutes.
You always wrap me out, you know? I'm just here, just like scouring around, having a look for memes. I'm having a nice time. You're like, oh, back on Twitter, are you?
Yes, but you're doing it for a work-related reason.
Well, that's what you're saying now.
You give the game away, not me.
All right, guys, get on Twitter right now. Hashtag Battlegrounds. We want to hear it. This is the last chance to get your predictions, your support through, because this is the final game of the tournament. Send this out to your mum, your dad, your friends. If they don't love you afterwards, that's your own fault. But still, we are into this one. A northeast start as well.
She's coming in thick and fast. We're going to see her coming in from the northeast. We have Yasnaya there, Lipovka. Mansion's
Spawn
also
Island
in play.
is available too.
Go grab a boat and get yourself out there. We'll see
it's possible.
Evermore's done that twice throughout the next few days.
Luminosity going Yasnaya?
They are. Boots on the ground. The last 3 days, excuse me.
But
First
it's not been Yasnaya. You know, they've gone to like near Zaki or back line.
Is TSM dropping
TSM's pretty close.
Oh, good God.
No,
they're moving down. But
okay,
they
so
can still swing
down
around.
south.
They're going to go to Roz.
Okay, we've got a lot of players going towards Mansion side, but they can also go to the underground bunkers, the log cabin, mill to power. You've got the Panda guys maybe looking for a car at the junction going over the bridge. And we've got the lake drops coming out now. They could either go Primorsk, military base, but the vast majority are going to just head over west, just split it out. But I want to keep eyes on LG early. They are normally the first to the ground, and it looks like they might just maybe have the entirety of Yasnaya to themselves.
I think they do, because TSM carry on going to the north.
So the one thing I would say about Yasnaya is the fact that it's so open, it's very easy to get run up on, so they do need to stay quite aware of this. But for now, they do have a lot of free loot, they've got a lot of free time, and for their sakes, hopefully a lot of, other kills on the map coming in so they get further up from that.
We've got a couple of long flyers maybe trying to make their way down to military. We'll see one team arriving. They are at the apartment. School's also free. Should Xeon want to move over there. And the Pyro just north of Pachinki. And to be honest with you, I'm glad he is, because you've got C9 down in Pachinki. You've got Liquid who are just kind of going over them. They're still in the air, so there's a potential to get shot at. Some of the C9 guys, if they do have an AR, they could take some pot shots at Liquid. But look at this. 1-2 teams minimum, both moving to Novo. They're both going to be landing at the same time.
This is scary. It's the first time we've really seen Cloud9 play this in this sort of environment. They've done it a lot in duos. They did it a lot yesterday in the games before. I don't know if we've seen it in squads yet. I might have missed one of the games. And this is one of the availabilities you could actually get over towards Novo. You could have maybe also made it a little bit towards Amelia Island. Certainly possible. And that circle is great for the Novo players. Not so great for Yasnaya, because they have to move back down south, which is going to be the Luminosity guys, but they seem good at that kind of traversing the terrain. They're able to get through there. Devello needs to be a little bit careful, because he might be able to be spotted here. Lucy May's going to fall off this. They could just go say, all right, screw this, get the car, which is the high likely spawn there, which Hungsterman's got. and just head on over. Get out towards Millie base. There's no need to stay here. You're already seeing players close by. Screw this, let's go Millie, and just play off the back of that.
Duke, get in the Dacia, guys. We are getting the hell out of here because Panda, they are down there and they are getting geared. We've already seen a couple of Kar-98s come in to swing. I also saw a UMP as well, so if they do approach them, they will be getting nailed. So they're going to get the teammates and they're going to get the hell out of here. They have an option to move down to military base should they feel the need. Tavelo's just trying to get some information. He's pushing up just to see exactly where they've gone. But look at the circle. Military's not in, but still, Sosnovka Island is. So it's still an option to go over there now. If they drive super fast, they will be able to loot it out. But look at that circle, Pansy. It's all the way to the east. So we're going to be looking at some kind of Milta power finish, potentially mid-coastline, those rocks, that area where people just tend to duck down.
The main thing is that the more the circle's in towards the water side, it's not really playable in this predicament because it's a lot of, it's not really accessible coastline down there. But the fact is there's less ground to be on. So the more that's in the water, the more interesting this gets. Anyway, let's keep our eyes on the Cloud9 guys. They're going to be very close by to another team. Again, still going to kind of cut this this town in half, so they're keeping to their sides. But as soon as one bleeds over, spots another, the fight could break out very quickly.
Two teams split across the road in Pachinki. Drifter's going to move back. Just checking those back outhouses. You can get a lot of, usually a lot of meds and a lot of stims from those ones, especially the orange house. There is another one that's just before him. Cross probably has already looted that one out. But they still need to be aware that they've got C9 on the opposing side. Now, C9 have gone wide. They've gone all the way to the back. I've only seen 2 players, though. I'm interested to see to the right-hand side if the rest of C9 is... In fact, no, they've all gone together. So C9 have now grouped up. They've dug themselves in those back houses just up on the ridge. You can see the back house as well, the garage on the top. Andy Pyro may have seen someone, potentially. He's moving to the compounds that are kind of off from school as you work your way up to Pachinki. Everyone's got to go east, though. Everyone's got to make a move kind of at the same time. So this could get a little bit interesting, but again, C9, they're not pushing it. You did see earlier on, we saw Solid FPS down in the dugouts in the bunker area. He was kind of keeping an eye. He was walking backwards up to see if he could spot a player. Now, I'm guessing they did, but the more further north that Cross and his team move, the closer they do get to C9.
The main thing is that it's very hard to exit Pachinki. This is one of the reasons that I don't like it, that if you want to leave it, you're surrounded by quite open fields. There's not much terrain to utilize to get out unless you get a car. That's where the fight may begin. We do have a meet. Oh my god, the top 2 teams are right next to each other. This could be huge. You've got Cake and the guys right next to Luminosity. Now, they could completely avoid each other. That could be completely negated. But if one takes out the other, that gets scary.
It's a night and day scenario. They could avoid each other, but they could absolutely wipe each other out from the server. We'll find out very, very soon as that one progresses. We need to make sure we keep an eye on that, because as soon as those bullets start flying, bodies may stop dropping. And the table itself at the end, the scoreboard, will take a turn for the worse. C9 watching the back, swivel head on point, making sure no one's behind them. Borg and Solid FPS will move forward. Going to grab this buggy, but only 2 of them can get on board. More than the thing is, though, they need to be careful, because if they move to the compound that's just down from them, Pansy, we've already got another team looting in there, so they could be pretty much rolling on in. A set of people tanked up in these houses, ready to go.
There is certain opportunity for all of this. Hearing a couple of shots here and there now. It's only getting a little bit busier. Yoonroot, Dingus Khan, they're all moving in. Whitey Doo and those guys might hear this. I think there's a car being used as well, and there's a lot of open ground. Yeah, they're going to spot these guys out pretty fast, I can imagine. They're moving in as a squad, going to try and get to the right position. Yoonroot is there. And he's spotting this. Did he just find something on the floor? I'm kind of wondering, like, why is there a UMP here? Unless that was dropped by his teammate. Got a third person up and over, spots out the car. You can see on the ridgeline slightly further towards 105 east. So they're going to head in that direction. They're pretty blood hungry. They want to take this fight.
But it's whether or not that car stops and drops
Evermore
off.
might have seen them here.
It's past, which I think that's what they may have done. They may have just stopped for a second and said, okay, they're going to come to us. They're going to try and push us. They do have some scopes there. I saw some 4 times there. Evermore, level 2 helmet. Coat on, so I can't tell what chest he's got, but more than likely level 2 as well this late on in the game. Moondie, Whitey Dude, and Lost Aiming, they're going to push out. They're all looking towards Dingus Khan, though. I don't think they know where Yoonroot is. If you look at him perpendicular to that rock where he is, to the left-hand side, he's not looking. Yoonroot and Wan, they're holding their ground. Moving up around the Harry Potter. Moondie will go into the upper level of it. It's whether or not they... I think they know exactly where they are.
I'm a little worried that the other side have kind of lost track of where their positions are. So they're still like, oh, maybe they've run past. They could have gone down towards Milta, but these guys are stalking them out. They're being calm. They're being collected. They've even sent a couple of players now themselves round on the back, kind of falling back towards the same positions together, because they've lost complete vision of them. And Evan, well, we know he's patient, and Hotted's great at driving. No, that's not even Hotted, excuse me. Who is on the driver's seat there? That would be Forzen. Beautiful moves. Just love it. But they're all kind of heading in the same direction. Looking at this, they're all over in this sort of space. This is kind of scary now. Cloud9 moving out in mass. They've got their whole squad with them, all got cars, all moving through. But they're heading up towards the hill where the shots are going to be coming through from the two teams we saw there earlier.
Probably going to be getting tagged up, and look at these. Just lying down and waiting for the ambush. As soon as they make a move out of that Harry Potter tower, they could be meeting their imminent death. Now they're backing off. They're staying low as well, so the guys in the Harry Potter don't see them. Otherwise, they may be able to advance on. I like that play, at least. Keep your body low, keep them out of the vision.
So they've missed each other, though. The Luminosity guys and the other team, top 1 and 2 currently, have actually missed each other, so that fight won't happen just yet. When they start getting pushed really from the north, if it goes further south, you might see that fight. Again, if you look at the position from Luminosity, it's going to be hard for them to move down south because you're through the open fields, and that's about it. You can definitely use it, though. There's definitely possibilities. But right now, these two teams are so close to each other.
Just really quickly and completely randomly off topic, do you think that Luminosity are going to be really feeling some pressure coming into this game?
Absolutely. I'd be bricking it because you can't get killed early, and you've got to hope that the other team doesn't do any better than you. Now, they've played really well so far. They've shown consistent good play, which is what should happen in squads. You kind of negate some of the RNG, right? You get past it. But for me, again, it's not first person still, so you can be very passive and be very aware of other teams without having to commit to things. So you're seeing that working out well for more passive teams while there's so many alive in such a late circle group still.
4 Entra are camping this team. They want them dead. They want whatever loot they've got. They're still around the back of the house, 2 people splitting off. You can see here, Lost Aiming and Mayhop, they are moving together. Oh, Mayhop just decides, okay, I'm going to go away from you now. If you look at Whitey Dude, though, he's got his eyes on the prize. He thinks he knows where they are. But his teammate next to him is facing the other way. So whether he's just laying down, keeping his body out of the glass, now he's seen someone. Now Mayhop can come in with the call out. You saw him running across the back of those buildings. Now we'll give the information.
But Cloud9 weren't far away either. There's a lot of players around here. You kind of want to move in on one fight and just kind of commit to clear it out in a way. But again, level 1 helmet, not great. You've got that's a level 2 vest at least.
Cat 98's pretty tanked up, I just realised.
Yeah, bullet loops on that bad boy, ×8 on it. Always nice, quicker reload. Does a little bit of adjustment as well towards recoil as well.
But Evermore's got a level 3.
It looks like Evermore's moving into the Wizard Hut that they might be in. I'm curious if it's the right one. It might be...
No, it's the one. It's further south one. Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to the southern side, which is fine. Makes no odds. At least they can then become a pivot point. If that circle moves lower, they can then hold the rotate.
See how this one plays out. Going to jump up. Needs to get the reload. But these guys... I think they've got their number. I think they know exactly where they're coming from, and they're kind of just setting up to allow this push and allow this pressure.
So these rocks specifically around this area, the northwestern side of it, are incredibly OP. They're very strong. Now, it looks like we might have TSM going past Luminosity if they're still in Yasnaya.
Yeah.
I feel as though if you're TSM, you take it quite cautiously. You head around the long way. Not far off, actually, is this team as well. They're both going to do the northern...
Spotted them.
Yeah, they have. They both could do the northern swing here. Do you take the fight? Do you not? AMPR better not crash that bike. You know you'd be in a little bit of a pickle.
I think he's getting shot by Luminosity with the sounds of it.
Sure. Might be. He's going to be just diving through. Yeah, AK going off. Yep. A couple of other cars down there as well. There's so many players coming in towards Yasnaya now. This could be a bit scary for both sides. You want to be cautious, but you also can't be too cautious. There's that balance to be struck. They need to be right on the money with it.
See how this one unfolds and where everyone's going. This is kind of the time where everyone starts to plow into the hill. Nobody dead yet, which is impressive. We usually see a death by now, but no one dead, and we're already moving into the first circle. We've still got this part, though. OG7 and his squadron. They're moving up. TSM, they know exactly where they are. They're going to take some crack off. You know what? Let's dive on into a listen now. Just kind of get some confirmation now and some comms from OG7 and his team.
Yeah, they're going to get out. They're going to get out. All right, we may as well just keep moving then, if we can't engage. That was a bike, for fuck's sake. That was a guy.
Oh, Serenity is my MVP. Just, there's a guy, it's a goddamn bike. But it does seem as though that, you know, she's giving a little bit of direction there as well. OG7 being on the driving, you got Sequisha in the back with Julia, so these guys are going to keep moving, and I don't blame them. You don't want to be taking fight. Look at this, the TSM squad are just heading right down south. Luminosity still alive, and they're now going to try and get themselves situated. Because there's so much of the circle in the water, it's now, this is big. This is going to be a great battle. I'm so excited for this area. We haven't really seen those Milta, the Povka fights, this open area on top of the hills. This is going to be massive. Oh, that's going to be AMPR possibly here. Oh, attack as well from Oshi. That could be huge. That could pay out and then some down the line. Now, this is a lovely compound, actually. One of my favorites to play in. You've got the mini mansion almost up top. Good high ground off it as well. A lower area to play from too, but it looks like there's already people maybe here. Is this could be the same compound? I'm not sure if it is.
It's the C9 one. It's just to the right of the
crater.
This
is the other side, yeah.
It's just the right. Now, this is a bit of a nuisance because you can actually, if you need to, you can position people in the houses that are directly behind you so they can see people coming over the crest of the hill, or you can move into these houses. Now, you have a full sight line should people want to move into the tree line, should people want to move down to you. Just really quickly, though, every time we look at MPR's point of view, he's always on his own. He's always been that little bit of a nuisance.
Wait, is this TSM getting shot at here? I'm pretty sure.
Is that the bullet? You just saw
yeah, it's
MPR's
Cloud9
damage.
and TSM having a little bit of a back and forth. One's in the hut, the other's in the entire building. So at the moment, I'm glad they have one player outside. That's Smack. That's really useful. Do any of them have Car 98s? Can we have a little look at them SKSs, anything like that, bit of range to them? Because that'd be really, really useful for these guys. They kind of need it. I'm pretty sure that car is going to get absolutely peppered if they even try and make a break for it. But, oh, God, TSM are right in between a rook and a hard place. You've got Oshi7 in the squad towards the right. You've got Cloud9 to the left. And no one's going to be challenging them. So, again, they're in a stalemate. Do we commit to one? Do we just stay here and hope they don't push us? But look at this battle as well that could be going down the Mythic side against the top two team here. Liquid are all the way out in Georgia Pol still. We've got Vicstar, Stody, and the guys out in Primorsk. They're playing the long con.
See how this one unfolds. It's all going to get a little bit quiet. Be nice to get C9's comms every time soon, just kind of get into the heads and into the minds and hear what they're thinking, because they are all kind of backed off. So, you know what? In fact, let's do that. Let's have a listen to see how this one plays out from C9. Great comms there, Lauren. A cough could have been a sign that someone was there. You never know. Cough once if you see a person.
That's the secret comms.
Cough twice if someone's got a Car 98, something like that. C9, cough 9, no?
Christ, that's a stretch,
yeah, it's really bad.
You're really trying on that one, aren't you?
Wish I wouldn't have said
But
that.
they are pretty well situated. This is the Mythic guys. Oh, they're going to go on a punish here. Surely going to. So he's sadly out of breath here for Flom. He's not able to make those shots count as crisply as he'd like. And now maybe looking for a readjust. This is where we saw, if I'm not mistaken, Luminosity doing very well before. Going to take down the tires on the cars. Smart play from him as well to use the banister, because people don't realize you can shoot through these windows quite comfortably if you get up on the banister, which they're doing. So that car, it's not going anywhere.
They really
now.
don't want it to go anywhere whatsoever. Oh, you know what? There you go, Anger. Take a bullet yourself just for being a bit of a nuisance. They'll fire back. I love the position, though, standing on the balcony. They get some view through those windows, through the bars. It's not the easiest to do, but they're not going to have a great window of opportunity to take anybody out. It's going to be a very hard shot.
No one's died yet.
No, they haven't. I mentioned it a minute ago, and still third circle now, and we're still nobody dead.
Now, it's almost like there's thousands on the line. Almost. But yeah.
Is anyone still out? Liquid, still in George.
The problem is with Liquid that they're hoping that other people die fast, and they're not. They are really not dying quickly.
You said it was a dangerous game to play this round, didn't you?
It is. Now, Panda at least got themselves a way up here. You've got another team on the right doing the same thing. Tavelo might have spotted it. He's got eyes towards the right direction. One shot girl moving in towards a compound here. I wonder if there's anyone up top. She could be in a bit of a predicament if that's the case. Full auto on, but they're kind of bunching up on the stairs, which is a really bad way of doing it. Almost got to go up on your own. I know it's not great to trade on, but still, kind of have to be smart about that. Tavelo now working his way back around with the squad. He was keeping tabs on the shoreline in case anyone else was there. Got himself a nice Car 98. Didn't see what scope that was. It was a bit quick for me. I am old. My eyes are also old.
Looking like a cog, if I'm not mistaken. Just looking from the side on.
Doot. It
will be something. It's something. It's got something. It's better than nothing. Pretty sure it's an ACOG.
Let me see. Just want him to spin the damn camera. Oh, 8 times. I'm not sure what that is, because it looked like a 4 times 8 times, so you actually might have something really decent, but Cloud9, I've got them to say, yeah, it's a 4 times. So it does seem as though Cloud9, again, still in the same position, TSM in the same thing. Luminosity moving in from the north, then they're in a pretty safe spot here, actually, but no one's died yet, so Luminosity, oh, this is big.
Oh dear, we need to
He's
go back to that
put out
POV.
4 players, it was just...
Yeah.
Them all worming around, and he's going to get full vision on that. Flom's doing this long-range battle. There's not much to be said about this. This will just continue back and forth. Might land some big shots, might not. I don't see anyone moving in towards them. Again, he's just staring at his own logo on the other wall.
Just be prepared, guys, for this game to go from 0 to 100 really, really quickly.
We won't even be able to see half of what happens because of that.
Keep your eyes on that kill feed. Me and Lauren will try and guide you through as much turmoil and damage as possible. But I tell you what, no one dead yet. Everyone playing rather passive. Even still, that POV we saw a minute ago, Lauren, where he had vision on the people laying down the rocks.
Who is this?
We haven't seen anything from them.
Evermore's going to drive, well, Evermore and the team are going to drive past Cloud9, TSM, and Oshi7, and all of that lot. They're going to take a bit of a dive, a bit of a detour. They're like, nah, that feels a bit bad over there. Don't like that. Going to maybe go back to this nice little hut. So essentially, it's claim your hut, sit down, and hope the circle works.
He's just dropping him off, isn't it?
Wait, that's right next to Liquid as well. Oh my word, there's 2 Liquid members down here. This is one of those games. So if you guys want to find out what exactly happens to your favorite streamer or your perspective of things, look for their stream on Twitch as well. You'll be able to catch it there.
That's blood, 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. One more shot would have probably done the job, but now they're right into the issue. Flying over the horizon, sure, but there's players everywhere. One more bullet, he's praying for a connection. And there it is. Hayes shuts him down.
Knocks him out with the SKS. Bullet to the head. That's going to be one player going down there. More than likely going to fall. Break gets knocked from falling, so Break has jumped out of a vehicle by the looks of it a little bit too early on.
Oh my god.
Is that flip bike? Borg takes out Break, so Break's gone. Break is our first victim in this game with a headshot. It's going to be a Scar. He's probably been knocked off that bike. Either that or it flipped over. Something bad happened. Another player's down on the floor as well. Watch the kill feed. He's going to be tapping him up. Watch for his body to hit the floor any second. If he can make his way through the bars, because it's not the most easy of shots, especially at that distance. Meanwhile, the rest of TSM, they're just going to rotate round. Oh, and there's a second kill. It will come in. So, C9.
So far, so good.
Liquid Tech 1 as well.
Now, the problem is there's nowhere safe to run to. You have to kind of go off your old kind of rotation spots, your old pivot spots, to know that there's some safety there, and that's all a matter of timing. So what I mean is if you run a certain way, if you go from X to Y, you'll know that that route of X to Y is safe for, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds at this point, if that. It's really going to be tricky for anyone to do anything. There's players like all over the place. Look how many squads are here. Look at that mini-map right now.
They
are so close here. If we're going to have a quick glance, I know there's so many actions going down, but look at this central area here. It's going to be crazy. Now, Luminosity actually could get pinned here between 2 groups. They've got to be a little careful on this one.
Oh, maybe even 3. Liquid are directly in front of them. You've got Sakisha.
They've got to be in just a hut somewhere.
The problem is, if the 2 squads from behind them come in now, it looks like C9 are going to be lighting up on Xeon and his roster as they work their way in. They're just going to be looking down the barrels of the gun. You can hear the bullets packing off. All of a sudden, we'll move back onto Chappie's POV. Going for the tag, gets some blood there. He knows someone's hiding behind the tree. You can just see his foot angling out, wiggling back and forth, trying to stay alive. He wants this kill, and it'd be so detrimental to that team, just trying to get out of the way, run the way through Crater. It's so rough. Anywhere you go, people are going to have eyes on you.
New circle's going to be coming up pretty soon. Let's see where the next circle is. I just want to remind myself, if I can, very, very swiftly. Okay, so it's not too bad, actually. It's still pretty well spread out, considering how many are alive. But as soon as it breaks, as soon as something goes off, everyone's going to follow, because it gives away everyone's positioning. And actually, for the team in second place, they're running through such open terrain. And I think that you still have Flom, Lex, Anger just off to the left. You've got other teams very close by. Mythic are not far off from this. If they get in here, if they try and watch it, or the other thing happens, they catch their cross. 2 teams moving almost perpendicular to each other. You've got players up on the ridge now moving across as well. Just maybe been spotted out here. This is very, very scary times.
Do you know what my issue is with this roster, though? They're second place Panzit. They're packing level 1 helmets. There was maybe a level 2 chest between them. They're all very, very undergeared. Even a level 1 bag at this point, it's just going to get destroyed, you know? The damage reduction at this level, when people are packing 7-stick 2 weapons, you're going to have SKSs in play, you're going to have a Can anti-8 AKM. It's just going to do so much damage. Saying that, One Shot Girl, she'll be pushed back, does have the time to at least drink up, get some Red Bull.
And she's in the zone.
That's a really nice circle for them, so they can let them go. They need to move up here.
They're fine for now. They're in a decent spot in this predicament. Luminosity still okay, still alive, still kicking.
Luminosity need that team that we just looked at with One Shot Girl to stay there and just rain down bullets onto tier 3, because if they do and take them out, that puts their chances up. Meanwhile, Ollie doing the same as before, taking damage.
Good.
Look at all the blood, same thing exactly, same scenario as before. Did I just hit a pan? Did Ollie just excuse me, Hayes actually just got saved by the pan. You heard that dink, so now he knows.
Oh god, this is
someone's
so scary.
behind him.
This circle is going to force all these northeastern teams to have to go south now. This means that everyone's going to go past each other. So, you know, in these awkward fights, you've got two teams on the coast here. Well, at least one now. That could mean that Liquid are going to get shot in the back, in the heels. One shot girl still healing. They're removing all the vehicles. This is going to be an open field. This is going to be an open battle here.
Stat will take out the wheels. One's gone. They're not going to be able to do too much. You'll keep firing on. Remember, 30 bullets from any 7.62 will blow that vehicle up. You can see on Stats. Oh, Stats been hit himself, though. He has no health, maybe 1 or 2 HP. Obang, I believe I saw Obang go down. Vikster does get taken out himself. They've actually traded off there. All of a sudden, Obang knocks out Stody as well. Solid FPS. I didn't see who that was. He's going to knocked out by Mithrain, so C9 boys. Mithrain goes down 1, but they're going to be able to, easily be able to get him back up.
This is great positioning, though, from WTC. He's in such a great spot here. Unless they get flanked on the side or something comes around, it looks like right now Hayes is in trouble. Yeah, it is. It's Julia. It's Oshi7. It's all those guys. They're taking down half of the Liquid side. Evermore dives into the battle now. Moondie towards Borg. It's all kicking off. This is that northeastern fight that we knew was going to go down. The battleground really begins now.
Play back for a second.
Look at this.
I know, this is insane. I'm just trying to let this game unfold and watch exactly what happens, because we keep seeing these chunks, these little battles that just come out for a second. Another member of Liquid, that's going to be Ollie. So 2 members of Liquid go down. And they were up in 4th place. They were in the money brackets. That's good for TSM. The more members of Liquid that fall, the better it puts them up. But here comes C9. You can see vehicles in hand, but they're approaching so many people, so many players. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to go. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath.
It really is. You need that range. You need close range. You need it all. And now the fight breaks out towards the banana house. This Sequisha prones down. Prays for some sort of safety, but Julia is there, saving him as they all peek from the ridge. She's laying down great fire here, keeping them suppressed, allowing time for Oshi7, Sequisha, Serenity to get back into the fight. But while all this begins, others are now going to be flanking on them as well. As soon as you open up,
Mumino, so that's from the opposing team. He's been knocked out. So that team that was camping them coming out before, they're going down, which means bigger things for Luminosity in the longer game. They're going to be in trouble across the map. And this is what we said would happen. We'd have all these mini fights going off. Oshi7 sees 2 running up on the ridge, does pro down. So at least he's getting the over the angle shot there. Looks down the barrel. He sees 2 players. They're moving inside those yellows. So they've got to be careful. But this is where we're talking about. The team that one-shot girl is actually aiming at is the team in 2nd place. If they go down, that just helps everyone out along the board so much. TSM are looking good because Liquid are losing as well. So now the story starts to unfold. We're down to the top 70 players, and this is insane.
Top 70 at this point. We need to see that map when we get a second on it. Where are Liquid right now? Where are Luminosity? Liquid are coming in from the south. They've gone for a switch up here. Where are the Luminosity guys? I can't even see them.
They're up in the top corner, but they've got between them and the blue zone, they have a team right in front of them. They're over here in the top corner.
Christ, all right.
Drassel knocks out one, so Drassel takes him out. We'll also see JP, he gets knocked out by Nefen, so they're now having a battle themselves.
They're in that fight.
Top two squadrons are both in fights across.
We need to keep tabs on them right now. Noble is still doing their best, going to be nading down this hill. They've got the circle. They're pretty safe to a degree. It's these guys right now that are in the real... the trenches as such. There's players left, right, and center. It's so hard to spot them out. These trees do not give you full cover right now. JP has found a couple of players here. Back and forth. Hugstabin has managed to take down Julie. So this is going back and forth now. These battles are insane as we speak. There's just a couple of lines of sights that are doing the job. Oshi gets a glimpse on the car. Not sure if there's a player nearby, though. Moleman has actually died out of circles. This is Liquid going down.
We'll see Flom doing damage as well with the scar there. You'll see him taking out Stat, looking down the barrel. WTCN knocked out Drassel, though. That's the big battle going on. That's the 2 squadrons, but we do know that WTCN themselves, they've not got very much gear. Ninja, he will fall. He'll get tapped away. LG may have just turned up to a gunfight with not much ammo whatsoever.
This could be an absolute heartbreak for Luminosity. It depends who now wins out on this fight, but if they're getting picked out by teams that are within that top 4, this could be all over for them. They could slip out of the first pop.
I've just seen Drassel go down as well. JP2's the last one standing.
You need to stay alive for this team. They need to run. He needs to be on the move. Shaka's still doing damage. Serenity's gone. Oshi's down. This is a disaster for so many teams across the board. It's all falling apart. There's still 60 alive. The Panda guys, Obang there, laying down fire from far away, doing what he can. Sequisha waits patiently with bated breath, hoping that somehow he can stay alive. He sees the opponents, but what can he do? There's 3 in front of him. Look at it, JP is trying to stay alive, trying to find respite.
Oh,
but again,
he's going to be ramming into a load of them, though. Unfortunately, we need to get eyes on that one to see what happens. J2, I think he's actually he's gone down and he gets the kill. He's dead. That could be the end of it. C9, we're going to see Solid pick up 2 as well. I think that would it. I didn't catch it in the kill feed, so LG may be out of the running.
And TSM have just taken down Cake. Those guys were in the second place position.
Jippy2's gone.
Okay, this could change the top two now. We need to keep eyes on who's left alive. So there's still TSM in this one just by a touch. You've still got a couple of the other teams who are within that top 5, top 6. Evermore still kicking in this one. He's somehow made it through those trenches. He's still fighting. We've got Noble doing damage. Great connection towards Forzen there. This is Interroga coming back into the action. This is what I want to see from this man. 8 times up on that Scar, doing work. And now Shaka's team are falling like flies. You can see his teammates are the walking wounded. He's all alone now. He's got no one else to fight with him. He's in the blue. He's got to move soon. Drifter's down. Cross is still up. They might be able to get a revive, but there's enemies everywhere right now.
Lex, though, his teammates are picking up 2. You can see there, Anger and Adren, they're both grabbing 2. They're moving forward. Lex trying to keep on the back heels of that blue zone. He's going to push them all in. Flom will drop also. They're going to split to the left-hand side. Andy Pyro's there on the outskirts, so you need to be extremely careful. Solid FPS and Chappie kill Evermore. Evermore is down. He is gone. Andy Pyro will die outside the zone, so that's a little bit unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, we'll see Interroga and Adaculus. They're going to be doing damage. Panda, all I'm seeing in the kill feeds, Panda. They're doing so much damage. 1, 2, 3 members of one team, they will fall. And then Flom, he also falls to Adaculus. Smack gets knocked out by Anger as well. Everything's just going insane. We're down to 32.
So the Mythic boys are now struggling. TSM doing work towards them. Panda guys doing work towards them. The pinches are coming through. The next circle is forcing everyone in. AMPR does find Moondie, so it's TSM still finding kills at this point. They could be one of the teams to really cause problems here. AMPR, Vis, they're still in this. They're in the rocks at the moment. They will need to move forward, but not by far. AMPR sees one. He needs to get these fights going for himself. He knows that he's got a couple of seconds before he has to run, but 38 seconds is not a lot of time.
Look at that circle. It's going to force them all into the breach. They'll be going down any second. They're all outside. Chipsy's still alive. I didn't realize it. Chipsy's still getting kills in the kill feed.
No, so he just died out of the play zone.
So he's lasted all this time, so he's made it to top 30, but will that be enough? Oh my word, so Luminosity, we're still in it, but he's down now, unfortunately. Has he done enough? Sweater kills TSM. He goes down. Smack will be taken out with a headshot with an M16. All the Noble players are alive. Killer Kapowski, they're going to be coming in from the backside, though. They may see them. They may mow them down. Sweater takes out TSM as well. Edaculus within 2 kills. He will fall. Takes out Lex. Takes out Adren. And now this is coming downward 2 to 24. That's 8 kills within a few seconds now.
Top 30 is only 70 points. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but we can find out at the end. Right now, everyone is kicking off. Curvy Llamas desperately fighting against the blue, and everyone else, her teammates are falling around her, and she can't do anything. She goes down. She knows this one's over. Tavelo has found Yunru. We're down to the last 21, and this circle is tiny. It's going to force the fight. Those individuals who have that firepower are going to do every bit of damage that they can. Stevo's still in this, but bleeding from the seams. Gassy Mexican goes down. Stevo goes down. Daz does manage to find Killer Kapowski, but Vis has died out of the play zone. TSM are falling apart as well.
We'll take a look at this, see who's left, and look at this. C9, they're on the outskirts, but they are going to get pushed in very, very soon. Meanwhile, Shaka is going to get tanked up, lets one of his teammates die. He's the last person alive for his roster, so he could do some serious damage. Catches one in the fray right in front of him, and this is where the scramble comes. I believe it's Noble. I think Noble are all just trying to scramble upside the hill, but look at this grass. You've no idea where players are. It could be like a predator just lurking in the grass. This is where things get really, really dangerous. Only 14 players remain.
And now we wait, the calm before the storm. As soon as it starts, it won't stop. We might have the finish off the back of it. We still have a lot of these teams alive, still kicking. Lost aiming, in a good position with his teammate. Panda off to the side. And right now we're going to listen to Noble just for just a second. At the moment, Nox are just about to get into a fight. Oh, the trade comes in. Edaculus manages to get into the battle. It's Noble coming up with the goods so far. They are not going to go down here, but now Panda know exactly where they are.
They are making their way in, but look at this. 3 members of C9, they're still alive, and they're creeping up on the edge of this circle, but they've got to cross this road. They have to move across. There's no cover for them on this side. The circle will get them. But in doing so and staying here, it's making them keep alive. It's making them stay up the rankings. Every time they see a player drop in the kill feed, they know that their chances just get a little bit better, and it needs to, because they were down in the rankings. We didn't see them in the top 5, top 6 section. What will happen? All of a sudden, Lost Aim will take out Boom. Edaculus does take out Mayhop. Then Daz just comes in. He kills Lost Aiming with a headshot with the AKM. Chappie, looks like Chappie's actually gone down now. The Noble guys. Lauren, they're doing the work. Top 10 now in these last few seconds. That circle's going to push everybody in. Anybody on the top side of that circle's in a great position. I think that's where the C9 guys may be.
Yeah, and now you can see Daz working the edge of the circle, trying to find his way up. Cloud9's clearly already in engagement here. Lost aiming, does manage to finally kill Interrogate. He might have just bled out. Now Moo's watching this one, trying to find that next angle. You can see them all claiming their side of the circle. Cloud9 now becoming a center point of this. All the focus goes towards them, and it's Noble catching out Panda. They're doing everything they can to make this one count. Panda have 2 players on the ground, bleeding. Moo's the only one who could do anything to save them, but Daz is having none of it. He wants to get it all done. Liquid finally lose Scoom. He was alive the whole time.
Wow, after all that, he's just been staying alive and ranking up points. Top 6. And Panda's going to go for the revive here. But you know what? Noble is doing so much damage. They have been laying down the law here in this final round. Idaculus will finally take out Obang.
It's Cloud9 against Noble. Surely this is the last 2 groups here. We've got to see who's left alive. Oh my God, no! In the back, it's Moo still there. And he's going to get a revive as well.
No way!
This is big.
Oh
Noble still have 2 players alive.
It's a 2-on-2.
This is it. Noble, Daz, and I'm pretty sure it's Idaculus. Yes, up against the Panda guys on the other side. This circle, they have 1 tree on the Panda side, 2 for Noble. They can split their attention. Who's the aggressor? Who's scared? Who's terrified? Because you've got to make the move and make it fast. Limited ammo on Idaculus as well. Down to about 17 in the clip. And the move comes in. Moo's going to make the move. Baits out the shot, but he doesn't land it cleanly. Idaculus backs away. Oh, the Panda guys go down. It's back and forth. But in the end, if I'm not mistaken, it is Noble to pick up the win.
Noble coming clutch, game number 3, and they stick their name on top of the board. We've seen some amazing stuff from these guys so far, but finally coming clutch when it needed most, and they will get a win. But in the long term of things, in the longevity of this competition, will it be enough? We didn't see them in that top 6 area, but this is, I do not know who's won this.
No, me neither.
This is insane.
That 6th placement from the Liquid guys, I think it was Scoom still alive, is 230 points.
He snuck in there.
Yeah, so that's either 230 for 6th, or if it was 7th, 180. I honestly don't know. I really don't know. This is going to be one of those games that's completely now up in the air. It could be either way. It'll probably take a second or 2 to work this out. The admins are going to be going over things. And oh my word, what an incredible final game though.
Here we go then.
Time. Here we go. Let's see who's done it.
The confirmed leaderboard. Let's throw her up and see who will be crowned your grand champion of the PlayerUnknown Invitational. Luminosity take 1st place. 2nd place coming in, we said earlier on, goes to Tier 3 Gaming. Noble clutch it up. They get into the money. 30 grand. What an incredible game for them. And then, as you mentioned, Liquid at the end, staying alive, Lauren. It's put them in the money bracket.
Scoom, you're an MVP. TSM will have just slipped away slightly because of that difference. That little bit of work from Liquid. It was like, all right, Break, we like what you did. We're going to do it better and when it matters even more. So there it is. That is your top 4 here for squads. Luminosity just fought with absolute sheer grit and determination throughout that one. The final game was very close, though. That could have been down either way, but credit where it's due. They fought a great game. They played out their minds as well.
I thought they were dead. That one player must have just been chilling somewhere and staying alive for so long, because we saw him in the kill feed, died outside the play zone, so he's clearly just banked it. But he got a kill before he did it, so he's just banked as many meds as he possibly can, sat outside and thought, okay, I need to get some points here. I'm going to get tanked up, but look at that. Look, they are...
Player not so unknown, giving them the old hug and handshake. Always nice to see him out there, but that's going to mean the world to Luminosity. Again, they had the heartbreak throughout this tournament of almost being within the prize money, just losing out on it, and now they've managed to stick it all the way through.
$80,000. LGG. Congratulations to these guys. They walk away with that top prize, and we said coming into this, it wasn't a prize to be stiffed at. JP2, Ninja, Chipsy and Drassel. We've seen them as a 4 for quite some time now. They've been playing in the H1Z1 Invitational events, and they've done well. I think they came 3rd potentially at the Crown Invitational. They stuck together as a team. They've come into PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. They've been practicing and practicing again. A team that does enjoy that first-person mode, a team that does play a lot of it off the back of it, and you see them streaming it, but they focus on the job at hand. This is 3rd person, this is squads, and they are your grand champions.
Not much more to be said about this one, if I'm honest. You've got to give it all over to those guys. They worked incredibly hard throughout this event. They've proven individually they can certainly do it. The solos, it didn't look great for them, I've got to say. Wasn't their best performances throughout. There was a couple of here, there, and everywhere moments, but they came together where it mattered. and you're seeing it now on your screen. So, yeah, brilliantly done. And as said, nothing more to be said.
Well, there you have it then, guys. We're going to be getting these trophies, or pans, no matter which way you want to kind of look at it from this one. Right now, we'll let this screen do all the talking. Me and Lauren are going to sign off for a second. We will return, obviously, to sign off this day. But for now, enjoy the shots, enjoy the views. All this action has unfolded across these 4 days, and it's been incredible. It's been wild. I want to thank every single one of you who has joined in, whether you've been tweeting, whether you've been sharing the stream, whether you've been interacting with me and Lauren across the weekend, whether you've been giving feedback, obviously over on the PUBG official forums, on Reddit, on social media. It has been an absolute pleasure to cast this. It has been so much fun, and just a glimpse of how truly incredible this game can be and will be over time. We'll see it advance through the course of history. We'll see it changes made, new maps added, new mechanics. It's not even launched, and it's already 805k concurrent players on Steam. Big thing for this game to come, and it's going to be coming to console also. To all you console guys out there, you'll be able to get in on this action. Honestly, this is just a glimmer of what is to come. It's going to be a bright and amazing future for this game. All right then, so it does look like we are just taking a little bit longer than expected to get the trophies handed out. There's obviously a lot to go on in the background, and you can see people want photos, people want autographs, signatures, and all the rest of it that goes with being a champion. And there's not a great deal more that me and Pansy can do. Obviously, the game has spoke for itself. This is all said and done now. And finally, everyone's making their way to the stage. Here we go.
Glad to see Noble up there as well, a team who's been fighting, real grit, real determination to how they approached it. That final match from them was brilliant. They were down to, that last 3, that kind of like 1v1. So well done to those guys.
They deserve this. To be up there, you've seen them throughout the course of the last 4 days. They've been fighting tooth and nail, and they've not managed to make it to the money bracket yet, but this time they do. This time they will walk away with some cash. They'll be coming in 3rd place. You can see it on your screen there. They're going to be getting the bronze frying pans, and as we said yesterday, you don't want to be using them out of the game like you do in game, because it's cast iron and it will hurt.
I haven't actually felt how heavy they are, but I kind of want to give it a little
I would
swing.
put it this way: if I put that in my bag, or if you put it in your bag, we would get charged extra at customs.
Ooh, that's...
There is weight to it. It is real cast iron.
There it is.
You could probably work out with them, put 2 of them in, and just on a morning, quick 5
I wish
minutes.
someone saw you doing this motion.
No,
honestly,
I'm going to stop now. I am actually going to stop doing that. But there you have it then, guys.
Very good stuff.
3rd place, Noble Gaining. Congratulations once again to them.
Very, very nicely done. Love the play that they played throughout near the kind of ledge that runs through from that southern road in between Milta and Pachinki, and they kind of held the line, they held the guard. And it is actually PlayerUnknown with the pans in hand. I hope you're happy.
I bet he feels at home with them, doesn't he?
He's dual wielding as well.
He's going to swing one. Go on, swing one on camera. Go on.
But you can imagine the PR stuff if he just goes dong on one of the players' heads.
The noise is amazing.
It is good,
when you hit someone with a pan, dong.
Right, where is that second place team? Where have they gone?
Dude.
Come on. Come on. Or we'll just give it all over to Noble. They are waiting on the side there. You can see them waiting. They'll be jumping out soon. There it is. There's second place team coming through there. We saw Cake and those guys starting to turn our heads. We saw them in solos, in duos, but now in squads. They've really delivered.
Tier 3 Gaming. They take second place at the Battlegrounds Invitational live from Gamescom. Anok, Alf Place, Cake and Mumino working so hard, so much, a well-fought battle every single game that we saw them. Just staying, you know what, they were on the back line. They were on LG's back this entire series, because more than anything, it was these guys that were applying the pressure. You could see it. There was only a 1 kill difference. And to carry on playing like they did, if, I believe it was Chipsy at the end, if he hadn't stayed so long alive,
that could have been different.
This could have been a gold frying pan, not a silver one.
If they fought in Yasnaya earlier as well. There's only ifs, buts, and maybes, but for them, what a great way to close this out. Second place, of course, gets a big chunk of cash too. Not just about those frying pans, even though they do look damn good, I will give them that. But now we move on to first place, the team that suffered heartbreak initially, the team that went through the trials and tribulations as any other does, but right now, this is what they deserve. A great performance from Luminosity, a great performance from the man at the front there, Ninja. You know what? He has critics, he has people who doubt him. He's come up here and he's provided us with a great show.
JP2, Ninja, Chipsy, and Drassel. They are your Gamescom PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Invitational 2017 Grand Champions. They walk away with a gold frying pan and $80,000. Well played, tooth and nail. They have fought hard every single time, but they are your victors. They claim victory. They walk away with the grand prize. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations, Luminosity. You guys have won first place. How does it feel?
Absolutely incredible. We came here doing what we thought we could do, and we did it. It feels amazing.
So that last game was absolutely, completely mental. You guys were neck and neck with Tier 3 Gaming after the first 2 games. It was all, everything was on the line. Figured, oh, who's going to last longer? But then when that third game came up, it got all chaotic. Were you able to track what was going on? Did you know how highly you were going to place just through the chaos of all of that?
No, we completely lost. We sent Chipsy on his own away for just better odds. And but no, everything happened so fast. All the positions was weird. The teams were just driving by us. So, we didn't have time to look at the kill feed, so we did not know if we won. We were just waiting.
Were you worried that just because of the outcome of all of that chaos that you were once again going to face heartbreak at the very final moments?
My heart dropped when Chipsy died and it said we got 12, because I'm like, there's no way that they're not dead. They're alive right now. And we looked, once they showed the map up, we looked at everyone, and they were dead. We're like, I think we won it.
Was it difficult for you to stay alive so long to get that high of placement?
We got a really good landing in Yasnaya, so we pretty much made a call to just give me as many healing supplies as I could. So staying in the gas with all those healing supplies wasn't too hard. But it gets to a point where it's impossible to live, so.
Yeah. No, the blue is just it took him, made him so weak so fast at the end. And what actually sucked was that the circle itself was really small, but it was super hilly and a lot of trees, so there were a lot of teams that had cover, and that actually is why we got 12th and not maybe a 7th or an 8th. It was the smaller circle. There's been less teams alive in a bigger circle, let's say that.
Yeah, no, they were talking about the deaths the whole time the game was happening. We didn't see a single death until about circle 2 or 3, which is, I've never seen it myself personally. I don't know about you guys. Now, I'm not going to keep you for much longer because I know you're probably going to want to go out and celebrate. Do you have any final words to say?
Shout out to PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds for running this, and ESL for running this as well, and Luminosity Gaming, and my wife.
I would like to thank, obviously, my teammates and
my teammates too.
My teammates for being amazing, really amazing players, and PlayerUnknown for making the game, ESL for hosting. I just love everyone that was a part of this.
All right, and you two haven't talked a lot. Didn't get a chance to talk to either of you, but do you want to say something on the mic?
Oh, thank you, Bluehole, ESL, and PlayerUnknown. Thank you so much for this amazing tournament.
Shout out to PlayerUnknown, ESL, Bluehole, everyone making this event absolutely amazing. Shout out to the Drasselbots at home, and thank you everyone for watching.
All right, congratulations once again. Gold medal, third-person squads at Gamescom. Thank you, everyone, audience at home, for watching. Yeah, you guys can go. You guys can go. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'm going to throw it back to Pansy and Sims one last time, but they can close up this entire show. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Alrighty, it is. I think it's all been said and done. You know.
That's pretty much it.
I think we can leave it there. It has been a great experience. For one of the events to be, really put I guess a marker on the timeline now of PUBG going forward. I think it's been an absolute honor casting this. So thank you very much for joining me. Of course, Sims there and myself, Pansy. We've had a great time. Hopefully you guys at home have enjoyed it as well. And who knows what is still to come for this game. There's still so much to be seen and done. But for now, that is it. We're going to get a beer. You guys at home, do the same thing. Honestly, crack one open, chill out, and have a nice cold one with the boys. We'll see you at the next one. Hopefully, that is. See. Oh, we're getting told there's more things coming up here. Hold on. Wait. Oh, PlayerUnknown is being very dramatic. No, I'm kidding. He actually wants to say something to you guys at home, so we're going to head back over to him, if I'm not mistaken, and he can take it away.
So, I'm live. You're live? No, I'm up. Good. So, hi, everyone. So, listen, I want to thank, first of all, Poopy Queen and her team, all the guys at ESL, PUBG, the players, and everyone that tuned in over the last 4 days. It was by no means perfect, but we've learned a lot in this event, and I hope that by the way we develop the game and constantly improved it, we'll do the same with our events. We've learned so much these last 4 days, and I think you'll have seen an improvement over the 4 days as we found stuff that went wrong. I really want to thank the players and the team for working so professionally when we did have issues. They really, they got their heads down and got them sorted. No one complaining, no one whining. It was just, we were here for the good of a Battle Royale game. So, again, thank you all so much for tuning in and being here and helping us run the first Battle Royale LAN so well. So thank you all again, and goodbye.
There you have it then, guys. PlayerUnknown said it himself, and Lauren said it earlier. It's been an absolute pleasure.